Now then, please give the court your testimony of what happened that night. Alright. Oh my god. How do you think you're gonna get away with this? I snuck out of Apollo's office that night to get something at my place. I was walking along the street when I was struck from behind and lost consciousness. Oh my god. When I woke up, I was in Forest Bones Cemetery. I watched in fear as Judge and Erlenmeyer fought. Erlenmeyer knocked Judge unconscious against the car. The impact set off the car alarm. The noise was terrifying. Panicked, Erlenmeyer paced up and down several times, and then decided to steal the car keys. Erlenmeyer then ran over Judge with the car several times. Erlenmeyer passed out when he stepped out of the car and saw what he had done. This gave me an opportunity to escape. I came back to your office on foot like nothing happened. Oh, I was so relieved to be back in your arms. How ironic. You accuse your own assistant and then get decisive evidence that your client is guilty result. Even I feel a little bad for you, Tenez. But just a little. Shut up. Oh my god. Don't cry for me, Mrs. Poole. The truth is, I'll never give up. Pity Rhea, since I'm gonna expose her for what she really is. My god. Your testimony seems fairly solid. You seem strangely competent. For once. Let's see if you are justified in your demeanor. You may begin your cross-examination. Oh, you bet! Oh my god. Oh, get that sweet, stupid fucking smile off your face, you. Snuck out Paul's office and then to get something in my place. You just... It's still a bit weird, though. Like, if you were the Lieutenant target from the beginning, then why was the bus crime scene, like, of Erlenmeyer, then? Just, like... What's the point of that, then? Why would he... Well, I guess it makes sense that he could target you. God damn it. Fine, we have to go down this one by the one. Oh my god. You didn't spend the night just so one suspect you, did you? You slept with your own assistant? She just spent the night. We didn't... I was in the impression you had only recently met. Didn't think you were the type to be such a Don Juan, Lady Justice. But still, you must then consider. Aren't you a bit emotionally biased for accusing this woman? I literally brought this up before. Everyone in this room is biased in this case, one way or another. Mrs. Poole, I think I can answer. Polly, if there's one thing I want you to know, it's... I genuinely like you. I sincerely don't want this to try to destroy the bond we have. You were ready to walk out of the room. By the way, what I was getting at my office? It was a present. For you, Polly. Shut the fuck up. Oh my god. You... Arg indeed. You have a strange way of thanking women for their affection, Mr. Justice. Shut up. You may continue your testimony, Miss Witz. I was walking along the street when I was struck behind and lost consciousness. She's really playing up the whole manipulative act. Oh god, this is... Oh god. This is great. Did you see this attacker's face? Don't be silly, silly. My name's not silly, okay? I was struck from behind, and even you should be able to tell where my only two eyes are. I can at least guess it was Erlenmeyer, though. Oh, God. Like, it feels so solid so far. I find it a little strange that I haven't seen any signs of you being struck. I was looking at the back of my head. I thought that was a bit obvious that I was struck from behind, but apparently not to everyone. Anyway, I'm so sorry I have hair. Is there anything else you want to ask, Mr. Justice? Can I see the wound, please? No. Not yet, at least. Then please continue, witness. When I woke up, I was in Forest Bones Cemetery. Just find anything to slip up on. How and why were you transported there? In case you've forgotten, I was unconscious at the time. Well, what's your opinion on how and why you got there? I think I was transported in the trunk of Erlenmeyer's car. He probably thought it was an ideal place to finish me off. The cemetery? I would say those important details. Please add into your testimony. And, well, I guess, like, thinking about it, like, oh god, it kind of does make sense. Like, didn't, like, I think it was Bull or Emma? I forget who mentioned, like, the police say, like, they think I'm, the mysterious bus killer, like, they probably had a higher body count because they found some random bodies like somewhere in the woods on a cursory search. Like, it doesn't prove they're connected, but like, if that's what they're suspecting, then like, is that where like that's actually where all the bodies are being like hidden in the woods? I would say those are important details. Please enter your testimony. Transporting the trunk of Erlenmeyer's car so you can kill me there. Where's his car then? We didn't see anything like that. Why would he want to kill you in particular? I was walking alone at night. He probably thought I was easy prey. This is also a deranged madman we're talking about. He could try and kill anyone for any reason. And sadly, as I hate to admit it, even if like completely sane, there's also the whole thing of like we kind of also were the ones to prove like he escaped jail too, so there's also that kind of motive. Oh god. Yes, please go on, Miss Witz. I watched in theater as Judge and Erlenmeyer fought. Okay. She's being vague. I need to press her into details if we want to catch her on something. Okay, so like, if she was the one actually to kill Judge then that means like she has to make up the entire fight with Erlenmeyer on the spot right now. Where were you fighting? Where were we standing? When did they start fighting? I don't think we need to know about when, but like, it would help to like figure out. Probably the one thing we most likely would know is there would be where we stand. That actually might be the way to go here. Actually, there's also no snowy footprints anywhere. Even though it was snowing at the time, that or like they were just, they were concealed somehow. So I think that's the way we have to go, so let's just go everything else just to make sure of details. When did the fight start? Before I woke up, which makes sense of the reason they were fighting is because Judge saw Erlenmeyer carrying me. Oh boy. True. Then what happened? Erlenmeyer knocked the judge unconscious against the car. Just keep going back and forth. Being vague. Okay, where were they fighting? It was by the car, but like it helps if we can catch her or anything. Where were the victim and defendant fighting? They're pretty close to Judge's car, maybe 5 or 6 feet away. I see. So what'd you do next? Okay, same thing. Okay, I was right on that then. Okay, so where were they fighting? Where were they fighting? Where were we standing? The other day, you gave me this tip to imagine if it to imagine what it would be like if a second witness were present. Sometimes a witness is not just a neutral outside observer, but influences the events that occur, even if it is just with his or her presence. So where were you watching the struggle from? Obviously somewhere hidden, otherwise it would have ratcheted her being there. Oh, right. I was hiding behind a tombstone, a few feet away from them, so they couldn't see me. I was scared for my own life and tried to see Judge killed. Sorry, I knew I'd forgotten something. Why didn't you call the police? It's okay, we understand. Please amend your testimony with this new information. They couldn't see me since I was hiding behind tombstones several feet away. That doesn't sound anything bad per se if like we catch anything, but like, Oh, come on, this is something you just forget. It's more like you made it up on the spot. Objection! Oh my god. This girl was traumatized by seeing a good friend killed and was almost murdered herself. Do you think you could remember every detail of such stress and shock? Yes, my father always said, the witnesses who give perfectly detailed chronological testimonies are the ones who are most likely lying. Okay, fine. Let's move on. Before he even starts talking like his father even more. Yeah, like, that's a whole thing. Like, if you're perfectly detailed when someone asks you a question, like, immensely, like, they give you a question, like, almost on the spot, it feels like, and they have a way to explain every single small detail perfectly, then they probably were thinking about this really hard and are most likely lying. I've done that a few times. Erlenmeyer knocked Judge unconscious against the car. Okay. They didn't really seem to add anything then. God. How did that happen exactly? Erlenmeyer was stronger than Judge and slowly pushed him back towards the car. Once Judge couldn't go back any further, Erlenmeyer grabbed his robe and knocked him against the car. What happened next? The impact set off the car alarm. The noise is terrifying. Are you absolutely sure the shock set off the car? As sure as it can be of anything. The alarm went off the exact same moment, and it didn't seem like anything else happened to set off the alarm. But what Chambers set off the alarm himself? How? Well, I guess there's an alarm button, like, you know, keys? I don't know. Maybe it was a button you could press? I've read the police reports and examined the car myself. There is no such button. Oh, okay, so it's one of those. What would even change? If he was able to do that, he could have also left us a dying message, identifying the killer. One we haven't found yet. True, but it was just the shot that set the alarm, so I doubt it. I believe it's much easier to assume the impact did set off the alarm. But up next... Panicked, Erlenmeyer paced up and down several times and decided to steal the car keys. The worst part is it actually feels so detailed that it actually feels like it could have happened. Oh god. Weren't there better options available? Better options like what? Well, killing Judge, getting rid of the body, and escaping before the police arrived would have been an impossible feat. Why didn't he just escape? Judge would be able to testify against him, but by then he could be miles away. Of all people, do you really think Armin Erlenmeyer would be able to make a rational decision like that? He's terrified. Most sane people probably wouldn't think like that. Yeah, probably not. God damn it. I suppose, but still, one more testimony wouldn't change anything for Erlenmeyer, as he'd still be a serial killer on the loose. However, no one has suspected you until now. If you let Judge live after he witnessed you trying to kill Erlenmeyer, it would ruin everything you've done till now. So you see him the killer. If logically follows I'm the killer, brilliant. The argument can be used for anyone here, even you. If Judge had seen you, Paulo, try to kill Erlenmeyer, his testimony would have ruined your life. I suppose that does sound convincing. My god. I never thought you'd try to use such underhanded tactics, especially against me. My god, like... If it wasn't for that one line of, like, when they're whispering to each other and, like, Ria just, like... And if you're stupider than I thought, if you think you can catch me, oh my god, I don't think this whole thing would just feel like I'm sorry I didn't tell you about this, Apollo. I was just too scared to do it. Oh my god. He's the defense attorney. What do you expect? And you're just a judge, so stop being judgmental. What? Can you at least try to seem unbiased? Don't worry, this whole court system is not. Can we please continue? Erlenmeyer then ran over Judge with a car several times. But the thing that comes back into mind again is just the rear view mirror, but like mostly just because they brought that up specifically, and I'm trying to figure out where they can use something like this here. Wait a moment. If Chambers had been knocked unconscious against the car, then he had to be extremely close to the car. I mean, there wasn't enough room and the speed to run him over. What? This means that Erlenmeyer had to have moved the body first. This is also shown by the fact that the body was found several feet from the car. Oh, like, well, was he knocked against the back of the trunk of the car and then, like, the car was run over, or, like, hit by the side of it? It would make complete sense, then, like, to move the car to, like, run him over, but then go into the rear view mirror. Wouldn't you have left fingerprints if that were the case? Obviously, if Erlenmeyer's fingerprints were found in Chambers' robe, I would mention it in the beginning. Exactly. Ria's been talking about a struggle between Erlenmeyer and the victim, but we haven't found any fingerprints on his clothes. That makes no sense. Plus, Erlenmeyer was wearing gloves. I can't remember that he wore them, but I don't remember that he didn't. I'm sorry, I just didn't get a look at his hands. Hold on a second. Two sets of fingerprints were found on the steering wheel, Chambers, and Erlenmeyer's, and, like, didn't, like, someone mention those fingerprints on the keys at some point that was Emma? Okay, we're using the goddamn, okay, photo. Okay, and that was the one piece of evidence that if I didn't put in, we'd be stuck here forever. Oh my god, the glitch. It's okay, no one expects you to have seen anything, to have seen everything in a situation like that. Although it does seem to be the only logical explanation. What do you think, Mr. Justice? What do I think about Ria's theory? Erlenmeyer was wearing gloves. I say it doesn't hold any water. Like, gloves don't. Erlenmeyer couldn't have been wearing gloves. It contradicts this piece of evidence. Photo, fingerprints. If Erlenmeyer had been wearing gloves, then he wouldn't have left fingerprints on the steering wheel and the car keys. Rhea, you are the one who fought with Judge and ran him over, but you were wearing gloves, so your fingerprints didn't get on anything. You then planted Erlenmeyer's fingerprints on the keys and steering wheel, but in your rush forgot to plant them on Chambers' robe. Why do you always jump to conclusions, Apollo? What if Erlenmeyer took off his gloves before taking the keys? And just why would he do that? Oh my god. It was much easier to take and handle the small keys the gloves off. Then he just forgot to put them back on when driving the car. Oh, I forgot I didn't see him take them off. I saw him place gloves in his pocket before he took the keys. Yeah, no doubt about it. I see. The contradiction was decisive after all. Oh my god, you're weaving this so... Oh god. What? She's just making this up as she goes along. Please continue, Miss Witz. Oh my god. You know what's another... just realizing this now that Emma brought up, like, the only person you could know about the fake a mysterious bus crime scene is if someone was involved in the law enforcement. And, like... Well, I guess that's not really true, but, like, it just came to mind now that technically Rhea went to law school before becoming a funeral director. She said that. She even commented in the law books. Oh my god. And Strings' office. Paul Strings. Oh my god. Erlenmeyer passed out when he stepped out of the car and saw what he had done. Oh my gosh. Isn't it convenient that the killer passed out due to his own actions? I couldn't help but notice this is exactly what the prosecution said in the trial 2 days ago. That time it was speculation, and this time I saw my own 2 eyes. I was shocked, but also relieved. After all, this gave me an opportunity to escape. The alarm was going off, and the police were to arrive. Why didn't you stay to give your testimony? Perhaps from a moral and legal point of view, that is what she would have done. What if Erlenmeyer had woken up? Dead men tell no tales. Would you prefer that she had been killed, then? Better not answer that. You fucking manipulated me. Of course I want you dead. What was that, Mr. Justice? You didn't hear anything. She's right. I'm not proud of it, but about my life before the investigation, I was too afraid Erlenmeyer would wake up and kill me. And so... I came back to your office on foot like nothing happened. I was so relieved to be back in your arms. Oh, God. Really? That's right, Polly. You were my knight in shining armor. You were just there. You saved me. Just seeing you save me from the trauma of what I had seen that night, Polly. Oh, crap. Okay. Well, there goes that tender, stupid moment on the way. Just seeing you reminded me why I didn't want to die. Oh, that's... Oh, don't fall for it again. That's complete nonsense. Settle down, you two. You can squabble once this trial's over. If it's ever over. I now know that Rhea really did, but why? How could I have been so deceived? I met her 3 days ago, and I was trusting her like I'd known her for years. That'll teach me. You're probably just used to the whole Trucy apprenticeship stuff. Now I need to concentrate on completely breaking your testimony, exposing her for what she truly is. For Judge, and for everyone else this devil is harmed. It's like kind of a Paul's office. Okay, so we pressed everything, but nothing actually comes to mind. Oh my. Walking along the street when I was struck from behind and lost consciousness. When I woke up, I was in Forest Bone Cemetery. I was transported in the trunk of Erlenmeyer's car so he could kill me there. In the car? Where would the car be? Like... Well, like... Hold on, like... We don't have anything for exactly a car, but, like... I don't think we have anything else? No, we don't really have anything. I watched in fear as Judge and Erlenmeyer fought. They couldn't see me, still hiding behind a tombstone several feet away. Was there be anything about footprints anywhere like that? Like, I don't think we found anything on the crime scene like that. Again, why do we need the stuff about the virus and the mice? God damn it. Alright then. Okay, just looking through all the evidence so far, comparing it to statements, literally there's been absolutely nothing, so like... There must be something that I missed in terms of like, pressing it or something like that? Like, let me just double check. of like different things. Okay, good. We can actually skip this really fastly. Okay, so John emotionally buys, recases woman. Yeah, shut up, you. Like you, like. It's a whole thing of just her manipulating Apollo and the whole thing of 9 streaming armor. Have fun with that, Apollo. Get someone who's not ready to kill you or threatening you. Walking on the street when I was struck behind and lost consciousness would even be. No, it's not important because like that's not details. Woke up in sanitary transport the truck and cars can kill me there. You were talking about pure just idea of like if like. You weren't sure about it, so we can't really press you on there, but like, we'll maybe come back to later. Watching Fear, just another thought. Consume as high stone. Like maybe one of these again? Like, did I miss anything? Being vague, and you ask her all this. A question, were they fighting? Where were you when this is happening? They couldn't see me as designed by the tombstone. What else is that statement? Okay. Oh, come on, this thing is the spot. Dodgers not against contact like its car. Like, let me just go over like the rest of them just to be sure though. I can't see. Did you understand what was going on when you woke up? Yeah, I was so scared. I thought I was gonna die. Okay, this is important. We can't skip. Yeah, I can't skip. I was even too scared to call for help. Yes, it's understandable. But Justice, please hurry up with your cross-examination so we can get this poor girl off the stand. Please, Your Honor, I'm trying to retain air of non-partiality. Why was that? That was new. So there are statements here when you press again. Okay. Walking along the stream when I was stuck behind and lost consciousness. Or, oh no, if like we press too often, like, there's gonna be some times where I'm up. It'll be a game over. Oh no. Just save just in case. I'll be paranoid as I want. Talking behind and lost consciousness. Okay, so literally any of these statements could be silly. Okay, so like some of the statements are actually I think you can't exactly skip, so there's something new here. Washing fear, not against the car. How that happened exactly? Stronger than judge, so they pushed him back towards the car. Next, this noise. Okay, anything else? I'm absolutely sure the shock to the car. It's all the same. And literally how this whole testimony is done, like, how she's wording it, and, like, how she's, like, twisting and turning the words, like, to make it sound like she's not lying, but she actually just remembered it now is, oh boy. And she's been doing this for, several years straight then, oh boy. Can I pay some donuts for times and decide to steal car keys? Like, literally details like this, honestly. There are better options available, better options like what? Same thing. So is there actually something missing over? Ran over the car several times. I don't buy that early mind just took off the gloves in the middle of this. Oh, this is new. Okay, this is new. I don't buy that early mind just took off gloves in the middle of this. Do you have evidence to the contrary? Well, no, but then shut up and let the witness continue. Okay, that's, oh my gosh. There's like new statements like when you press things and then they go nothing. That's, oh boy. Passed out when he stopped at the car and somebody done. So like are all the rest of the statements like this? It's convenient the killer passed out. Could have been noticed what happened in the last trial. Oh yeah, speaking of that, like oh boy, thinking back at it, I don't think I didn't catch on to like Miss Pohl talking about like why we have to present a motive, like and all that. Like, that was actually a good, interesting talk that she brought up about why it feels like we had to present even a good motive is because, literally, of course, like, we have to prove almost everything because we don't have anything decisive, so we get to present as strong as a case as possible. Even with, like, for example, like I brought up before with, D. Vasquez in the Steel Samurai case, the first game, we didn't have anything decisive that she actually killed. We just kept presenting a van, like, oh, you could have used the van to, you know, move the car that way and all that, but we didn't have anything to exactly prove it. The only way we could have actually solved that case is literally just having her confess. That was literally just showing off that it was self-defense, and by that point, she probably just decided to talk anyway because of all that. That we actually understood what happened. That wasn't just an indiscriminate killing, at least in that case. Give me opportunity to escape. It's like, are there any other statements here that missed? Let me go through this a little more. They give testimony. Okay. Yeah, same thing. Oh my gosh, that's new. So either some other statement like I need to look through, or I need to present something right here, right now. Oh boy, oh boy, oh. Let me see if I can do this. Okay. Oh, okay, that's subtle. Oh no, that's really subtle. Oh, that's actually kind of cool, but at the same time, it's conflicted. I had to look this up for this one. It's actually really subtle. Just and thinking back in my head, it kind of makes sense now. The gum was found in the middle. It's found in the middle of a pile near the crime scene. That was next to the car, but you're saying they couldn't see me since I was hiding behind a tombstone several feet away. If you were hiding behind a tombstone and you watched the whole murder happen, then you fled right then and there, like went to the entrance immediately, then you would drop the gum like behind the tombstone or the pathway to the entrance. But the gum was right next to the body or the car. Huh. So like, yeah, that's really subtle actually. Several feet away, huh? Oh, if only that were true. It is. I think I know where I'm standing better than you, Apollo. Apparently not. You just testified the struggle occurred near the car, and that you were several feet away from the struggle, right? Is there an echo in here or something? I'll take that as a yes. Anyway, that means you had to be several feet away from the car, too. Get to the point, antennas. Oh, we're getting to it. Like, get your own antennas, then. They have actually a point, but okay. You remember this gum, don't you? It doesn't just prove that you were at the crime scene. It shows where in the crime scene you stood. The gum was found near the car, which means you were sitting near the car. You weren't observing the struggle, you were participating in it. Rhea, you're the one who assaulted Chambers, and you're the one who killed him. It's the only reasonable explanation. No, it's not. I honestly didn't think you'd treat me like this, but I guess it just shows you how desperate you are. I thought you'd value our relationship more than enough to grasp this, but I was wrong. Rookie attorneys. What are you gonna do with them, am I right, Pool? Explanation now. Just pound the desk twice like a child. Oh my god. Alright. I didn't think I had to spell it out for you. How about when Erlenmeyer walked through that spot while carrying me, before a judge came? That's the way you're going with this? The chewing gum probably fell out of my pocket, by chance, at that moment. Now, wouldn't that be a wonderful coincidence? Because if you were, like, your body's being carried there, then, like, that means, like, the judge, like, started running up, and then you fell onto the ground, and, like, you were at a tombstone right there. You've been too close to, like, you'd be hiding a tombstone several feet away. And you'll be right there in the action anyway, instead of, like, the judge saw, like, shouted, like, you were, like, they started attacking each other, and they just, like, started fighting near the car. That just means you were near the car anyway. And it wasn't a thing of, like, you were an outside observer watching in. They would have definitely noticed your presence and all that, which you just said you were several feet away. God damn it. Maybe, but you can't disprove it. The gun shows that she was at the spot at a certain time, but we don't know what time it was. Don't you get it yet, Lady Justice? That chewing gum can only get you so far. Oh, God. You can argue about possible wheres and hows all you want, but the evidence only links Erlenmeyer to the actual crime. Now, please stop badging the witness with pointless remarks. Pool's not been her usual self since I accused Rhea. Could she be doubting her case? Yeah, actually thinking about it, like, she hasn't been as aggressive as the start of this trial was so far, actually. She was really aggressive, and now she's more tamer. Like she was in the prison break trial. She's actually like that now. Strings in her hands, seems oblivious to how suspicious Rhea is, and always questions my logic. Does he have a crush on her or something? So much for staying unbiased. And then my not judging context in his car. Okay, this Lily's thing of just figuring out and pinpointing very, very small and subtle details. Which, if they're that subtle, that just means, like, oh boy, this is gonna be something, alright? Oh boy. Okay, let me see if I can try this one out. Like, do we actually have to try present something with a rear view mirror here? This car, an old model, rearview mirror broken. I get reminded of like when Apollo's like do the move the body and all that to, like, you know, move the to have the car run him over. Was it because like you couldn't use the rearview mirror that it was harder to actually find a way to run the judge over? So like, do we use that? Am I the ran over judge with the car several times? Like one of these statements? Let's see, passing the car and something done like right here. We use it right here. Blather skit. What? I thought if you were going to throw out some random nonsense, I tried to. Oh god. Oh god. What? Please don't waste the course time, Mr. Justice. Oh my god. I've been nice with. Okay, that wasn't it. Give me another chance. So like, is the other statement? Passed down when he saw the car and somebody done. Came back to the opposite foot. Passed out the car. Paced up and down, decided to do the car keys. Like, I'll just be sure though. Nope, the same thing. Okay. So, okay, where else should I look then? Where else should I look? Okay, this is another strange one. I was transporting the trunk of Erlenmeyer's car so he could kill me there. I thought we'd use the car somewhere else, but like, apparently it's right here instead. Looking it up? I was on the right track, but the wrong one? I was transporting the trunk of Erlenmeyer's car so he could kill me there. You're trying in a weird way, like, it's actually his car that you were put in, but that doesn't make much sense either. Is it really this? You said Erlenmeyer carried you in the trunk of his car. That doesn't make sense. Wait. Is that the prosecutor's bench in the bottom right of the screen? Okay. Okay, it's glitching. Oh boy. There's a few hiccups in here and there, some of which I recognize, but this is new. I recognize some glitches from, like, watching things happen in other Let's Plays years ago, but this is definitely new. You said Erlenmeyer carried you in the trunk of his car, but that doesn't make much sense. Chambers was run over by his own car. If Erlenmeyer had his own car at the crime scene, why waste time sending the victim's keys when he already has set it for his own car? Oh, okay, that makes so much sense. God, I'm an idiot. God damn it. Wait, why do we, like, that makes sense, but like, why would he use that? Oh, no. Oh, that makes sense, actually, not thinking about it. Like, represent the Chambers' car, because why use his car when he uses his own? But like, no, that doesn't, no, like, never mind, like, because his car was right there, he could just easily run him over with Chambers' car since it was that close by. It wouldn't matter, like, because if Erlenmeyer, like, in this situation, Erlenmeyer parked his car in the parking lot, then that means that literally his car was too far away to do it, so like, stealing the keys is completely fine here. Time stealing the victim's keys when he was already had a set for his own car? That's not all. He's found unconscious in the cemetery. That means that his car should still be there, but only Chambers' car is found. Makes sense. Please, Apollo, I was only making a guess, not saying that it actually happened. You're the one who told me to do that. Also, the cemetery isn't that small. If Erlenmeyer had parked in the regular parking lot, it would have been quicker just to steal Judge's keys. Maybe Erlenmeyer's car is still in that parking lot. You remember that he was on a rush because of the alarm? Yeah, sort of thing. Like, I mentioned that too before. Like, it was just a guess. Actually, now thinking about it, like, the contradiction is actually like trying to like present this. If this is required to continue, then like that's a bit weird to place it down. Actually, yeah, it's a bit weird actually. And nitpick. Yes, I believe this is a sensible way to clear up this contradiction, since it is the only witness's guess. I do not believe we need to dwell on it so much. You may continue with your testimony. I almost had her. I need something more concrete than just her guess. Your Honor? Yes? Although this testimony does not have any decisive contradictions, aren't 3 inconsistencies enough to cast doubt and miss wits? It was very small ones, one of which was Like, the whole point of this testimony is just like, oh boy, it's so detailed, but also vague enough to like cast suspicion away from her. That's, oh. Perhaps, but what should we do about it? Get a second testimony. A detailed testimony about the actual moment of the crime. I think this will let the court determine if she saw the crime, or committed it. The prosecutor's bench is right there still. I suppose you have thoroughly examined this first testimony? The second testimony will help her credibility. Miss Witts, you have heard the defense's request. Please testify to the moment in which the defendant ran over the victim. Fine. Oh, is this actually where the rear view mirror comes to play then? Please. Please let me use the goddamn rear view mirror, or else that's such a stupid detail which you brought for no reason. Please don't do this to me, game. You're good this so far. Please don't be like conflict of interest. God damn it. Ooh. Erlenmeyer seemed to have trouble starting the car. The body wasn't perfectly aligned with the car, so he turned a little to the right as he backed up. Backing up was also hard for him. He kept looking behind him outside the window to see what's going on. Outside the window to see what's going on. He backed up enough, stopped for a moment, and then went forward. Then he did it again, and again, at least 4 times. He was screaming, a scream of pain and victory. I'll never forgive the animal for what he did. Are you satisfied now, Polly? Are you really gonna make me relive this nightmare again and again? I won't be satisfied until I get the truth, Rhea. Until you get the real truth, or the truth you want to hear. Please stop this needless bickering. Mr. Justice, find the truth is fine, but harassing the witness is not. If you badger her, I'll penalize you severely. God damn it. Oh, God. Now then, you may begin your cross-examination. So we can't press here. At least on frivolous stuff. Oh, boy. Oh, God, like... It feels like it actually, oh my god, like, if the trial's been going on for this long, like, you kept explaining about that, like, if the trial keeps going forever and all this, and you have a goddamn crush and it's like that, god damn it, of course you put the fucking penalty on, god damn it. Well, I'm not gonna tolerate that, save. Erlenmeyer seemed no trouble starting the car. Okay, that seems like a frivolous statement. The audio wasn't perfectly in line with the car as he turned a little to the right as he backed up. I feel it has something to do with the rear view mirror, so we gotta continue on this. If he moved the body anyway, why didn't he move it so it was aligned? I don't know. Ask him, not me. Of course it was dark and he was under a lot of stress, so he could have just misjudged the angle. That's indeed possible. If Justice, you have anything to say it now. Is there a problem with the statement that witness just made? Yes, and a big one. But the rear view mirror, like, it's broken, so we can't really do anything with it. Oh, the penalty's for that. Okay. So if he yes or no, okay. Okay, so we're fine then. Okay, we're fine then. Okay, less paranoia now. Let's go. Remember, I've seen a trouble starting the car. Like, the engine wasn't working too well. It did say the car was an old model, so I would guess it might be that. Let's see. Why do you suppose that is? Well, it was kind of far away. Just the cold and his anxiety just made it more difficult. It wasn't really the newest model. That car was an old wreck. Judge was never too good at getting up to date. Yes, everyone would have difficulty starting the car under those conditions. The Justice, if you have anything to say it now. Is there a problem with the statement the witness has just made? Oh, it's gonna be one of this for every single statement. Okay, let's see. Please continue. Okay, so backing was hard for him. He kept looking behind outside the window. Outside the window. He kept looking behind him outside the window to see what's going on. Are you talking about the driver's side window or like the rear view? Like, I guess like the backside window. Because I feel like if we're going to use a rear view mirror contradiction at all, like, it's going to be in that thing specific. If we don't find anything else, I'll try to use on this statement. I just really want to use the rear view mirror. Please. He backed up enough, stopped for a moment, and went forward. Okay, this seemed that important, but details. A moment. A few seconds. He probably realized Judge might still be alive. Not exactly no a shrewd and meticulous killer. I guess even the best have off days. Thank God. Yes, let's continue. Does Mr. Justice believe there's something wrong with the witness's statement here? Oh my gosh, you're gonna ask that for every single one. Okay. Then he did it again and again at least 4 times. I don't think it's good to like actually present like I guess the tracks and stuff like that. Like it just in general just rain over a lot. We don't have to do anything about that. Isn't 4 times a bit excessive? Are you really gonna ask about this? What can I say? We're dealing with a complete animal here. Maybe he was angry at Judge that he would cause him to get caught, or was releasing all his anger from being locked up in prison. I can only tell you Erlenmeyer's actions, not his reasons. Yes, that is true. Mr. Justice, if you have anything to say it now. If you have anything to say it now. If you have any objections to it, whether these 2 people can be married, then please speak now or hold your peace. No, Your Honor. Very well. Please continue. He was screaming a scream of pain and victory I'll never forgive the animal for what he did. Mother fur voice. We'll probably have to go back to the statement. I'll put the rearview mirror on. I hope to God they're talking about the backside mirror. The window for like, the window against the trunk. I forget what it's just the rear view, like, you know, window. The truth is I never wanted to defend Erlenmeyer. I just didn't want to lose you, Polly. Wait, so your relationship with me, which lasted for a few days, is more important to you than putting away the murder of your brother and one of your close friends? Of course not. I haven't told you everything yet. Testifying against Erlenmeyer was my plan all along, but I waited until you called me to testify. I didn't want it to look like I wanted you to lose the trial, or else you would have gotten mad at me. Of course, I never thought you'd interpret the gum as a sign that I was the killer. Empty threats and cheap intimidation tricks won't work in Tenaz. Attack her with tangible evidence, or give up. Exactly, Mr. Justice. If you have something to say about Miss West, please say it now. No. It just feels like we're going around in circles and circles and circles. She's giving a lot of details, but maybe, just maybe, I can use that against her. A lot of details. Okay, just to be sure, wasn't perfectly aligned with the car, so turned the right and backed up. Backing up, he kept looking behind him outside the window to see... Behind him outside the window to see what's going on. I hope you're talking about the rear view window. Why do you look outside instead of at the rear view mirror? Ow. It was broken, remember? Oh yeah, sorry. Wait. The car was gone when we got there to the crime scene. How would you know about that? That's that, then let's move on. Let's just believe there's something wrong with the witness's statement. We had to press so many times different statements now. Yes. There is a big problem with what you just said, Rhea. You're right in that rearview mirror is broken, but how could you know that? I initially investigated the scene on my own, and the car was gone by the time you joined me. Given the fact that it was so dark, and the color of Chambers' car, you'd be very close to the car inside it to see the mirror was broken. Get it now? By telling us about the mirror, you revealed that you were driving the car and murdered Chambers. You're right that in order to see the rearview mirror was broken, I need to be next to or into the car. But why did it have to be on the night of the murder? I could have sworn you were there when Judge said this. Rhea's a friend of mine. We met at the trial. I was of your back pains at the time, and she was kind enough to give me a ride home every evening. Oh, yeah. I knew about the rearview mirror from driving the car then. I saw Erlenmeyer looking back through the window and inferred the reason. But that was months ago. Would Chambers really drive around with a broken rearview mirror for months without getting it fixed? I don't really know. There's no point arguing over this. There are plenty of people like Chambers' grandchildren who can testify about whether the rearview mirror was fixed. If you find out it was, you're in trouble, little lady. Ooh, that's actually got, oh, that actually got a good reaction, yes. Since when has the prosecution joined the defense and started going after innocent people, like me? First judge and now myself, didn't you stand for justice before? Well, now that you're standing with Mr. Justice. Ah! Yeah, I crack myself up sometimes. Yeah. I stand for the victims, and certainly not for Mr. Justice. I don't want you to say anything you might regret. I'm still convinced Erlenmeyer is guilty, but I'll be frank. You aren't helping. I don't know what you have or haven't done, but you obviously have something to hide. It's not a literal skeleton in your closet. Speak up already. I'll save many innocent people here. At least finally she's recognizing it. I don't have anything to hide, I swear. Then how did you know about the mirror? I don't remember, Apollo. Do you know what a petunia is? We're not talking about flowers here, okay? And I thought the goddamn flower in your hair was a rose. The rose has thorns. Of course a flower, but what does that have to do with this? When, where, and how did you learn that petunia is a flower? Exactly. Can you see I'm confused under a ton of stress right now? I instinctively said the rearview mirror was broken, but I can't remember where I learned it. I thought it was from driving Judge from before, but maybe it was something else. I'm sorry, I just can't remember. However, the fact of the matter is the mirror is in no way proves I'm the murderer. Why are you doing this, to buy more time? If Erlenmeyer is the protagonist, it's difficult to make a coherent, evidence-based narrative of the murder. But with me, you're bound to run into a contradiction at some point. Okay. I accept. Excuse me? A coherent, evidence-based narrative where you are the murderer. I'll make it. Oh boy. I would just like a 30-minute recess to gather my thoughts. Oh boy, we're heading here now. Oh no. Oh boy. Very well. But you better make have evidence when we can reconvene. Or else, well, I'll leave that up to your imagination. Court is adjourned. Alrighty then. Oh boy, oh. Well, we're gonna go into, I guess, technically, the most controversial part of this fan game, even though I do, it's good on paper, but not execution. Oh boy. Alright, so what happened first, first happened was... Hey there, Polly. What the fuck are you doing here? Get out. Rhea, what the hell are you doing here? Gosh, Polly, I didn't think you were a cursor. What are you doing here? Why did you... Okay, why did you say they came with a curse? Just say a better curse, okay? Just dropping by to see how it's going. How things are going? I'm about to prove that you're a serial killer. Oh, that. You mean how I murdered dozens of respectable, boring human beings for no reason? Oh my god. Don't let me sleep over it. I'm gonna get away scot-free, just like last time. What? Surprised with the confession, Polly? You have no reporting it won't go over in court. Even if it would. Strangers are eating out of the palm of my hand. There's no way Poole will go after me over Erlenmeyer. It's you and me against the world. Except I have a knife at your throat. Surprised you figured out. Even if it was painfully obvious. You monster! Why are you doing this? I mean, talking to you right now? Because I'm taunting you. And it's fun. This will also destabilize you and cause you to crack pretty soon. Or did you mean the murdering business? Oh my god. Oh, silly me. Well, you might get mad, but I'll answer your question with a question. Why are you so afraid of dying? Why is everyone so afraid of dying? What are you talking about? When they're not even living. What? You're talking like we're from a different species. Don't human lives mean anything to you? Of course they do. The ones that matter. People who experience what it means to live aren't afraid of death. An interesting paradox, don't you think? Terrorists, movie stars, thrill seekers. They are ready to disappear from this world at any moment. I'll be too, if I was beaten. Which I don't think is likely, though. What? Wait, what? If that happened, I'd gladly accept death. Wait, so your motive for murder is literally just killing people who are afraid to die? Threaten any regular Joe Schmo and he'll be begging for his life in an instant. Just because you don't think they're living their life to the full doesn't mean they deserve to die. That's literally your whole thing? Of like, if we're not like, they're living their life to the fullest and all that, like doing like all these crazy things and like partying their lives out or something like that, you think they're not worthy of it? You're not, oh my god, Jesus. Yes, no one deserves to die. But again, who wants to die? Forgetting about suicide. Whether it's an avalanche, a bacterium, or another person, you are gonna die against your will. I'm just doing nature's job. Although, much less violently. I don't even know what the fuck you did with the actual bodies, but like, Jesus. I'm pretty sure that's way more violent than someone dying of old age or like nature doing its course. In most circumstances. Oh my god. And if it was the goddamn virus that you used to kill like all those victims, like, oh my god. The paralyzing and like all that, that's the most peaceful way to go, but oh my god. Although I suppose running over Judge 4 times was overkill. No pun intended. At least in my case, all their deaths were in vain. They are in vain? What? The sheer ecstasy from killing them and getting away. Oh, that's why we live, Apollo. It's why we live. There it is. There it is. The sheer ecstasy from killing them and getting away. It's why we live, Apollo. Thrill-seeking. You're sick! Are you gonna lecture me all day because there's no way I'll even begin to comprehend your deranged mind? Well, I suppose. All this time you spent listening to me is time you haven't been preparing your arguments. Oh god. Everything I do is for a reason. What Do you really think I wouldn't get caught after dozens of murders if I was sloppy? Aw, you're cute when you're mad. How about a date after this? Enough of this! Come on, you know I'm a great cook. Hope you like what I whipped up for you in there. And once you've eaten enough, I'll have you for dinner. So, ready for the final course? Oh my god, you're the goddamn wordplay at hand. You're not going anywhere. I'm putting you behind bars. Good luck with that. I sincerely mean it. The closer I come to getting caught, the more fun it will be. See you later, Polly. Okay, so it's literally just playing a game, like, all that type of deal. But the way you word it, like, oh god, it's intriguing to me. Oh boy. Just you wait, Rhea. I'll make sure you get your just desserts. Okay, that's a good line, Apollo. Nice. That's nice. Oh boy. Orders back in session for the trial, Robert Erlenmeyer. Okay, here we go. Oh boy, oh boyos. Let's see. Save him for no particular reason. I definitely don't have foresight for no reason. Are you ready, Mr. Justice? I was born ready. Okay. But are you ready now? Probably not. Oh. Yeah. Your Honor? But before the defense starts harshly attacking me, I'd like to make a special request. Oh boy, here we are. Oh god. What is it, Miss Wits? You have your wits about you. This trial has unquestionably shown what I believe is a fundamental flaw in our new legal system. Of course, I'm talking about the unquestionable bias of the defense. Unquestionable bias? Well, everyone's biased against the defense. What? She can't be serious. Our position was less disadvantaged in the Middle Ages. As you would obviously know, Your Honor, criminal law in the past few years has been based on the following principle. One who has been arrested by the police on solid grounds is most likely guilty. Oh boy, guilty before proven innocence. This is a good way for prosecutors to be able to do their job, but it has some undesired side effects. For instance, the only way for a defense attorney to get an acquittal is to accuse someone else of the crime. Therefore, defense attorneys like the now disbarred Phoenix Wright and the man to my right have shamelessly and unexpectedly accused witnesses. For those last few times, it actually was them by decisive means, or oh god, you're doing this. For Apollo, just oh god, you're doing this. Phoenix was charged for forgery, even though he was proven innocent of it. The stigma of it for 7 years is gonna stick to people more often than what he's actually done so far. And in some cases, with the jury system for the 4th case, and literally just and only 2 of the cases Apollo done so far with actual decisive evidence, and a 3rd one actually just proving it just only based on testimony. Oh my good god. I'm shamelessly and unexpectedly accused witnesses. She's doing the whole... They are pressured and pressured until they finally crack and admit to a crime they didn't commit. Defense attorneys have access to all sorts of documents and information. Prosecutors have it way much more here. And have plenty of time to devise arguments and find evidence to sort the truth. The police have more resources to do that way much more than defense attorneys. On the other hand, witnesses have no extra information. They're expected to quickly refute defense's arguments on the spot, lest they be declared guilty. Especially now that we have jurists who can easily be swayed by professional liars like Apollo. Oh god, you're doing you're doing the emotional argument stuff. Oh god. What's even worse is that I can't exactly entirely refute it either, because literally if there's no solid evidence, and this is one thing I presented going through a lot of other games, if you don't have decisive evidence, the next best thing to use is emotional proof. Emotional intelligence. And this whole entire case is a refutation in futility. That just from how your motive was this whole entire time until now, that literally, and I do mean this literally, you kill for no reason. You kill for absolutely no reason. You kill people just because you don't think they're living life properly. And what, do you actually stalk people just to be sure they're actually living life to the absolute fullest? Doesn't that mean every single person besides I guess what people look up as idols, or the cool people are on your bucket list to kill? Oh my god. That means, like, literally that means everyone is actually trying to do something with their life and all that. Oh god. Career-wise, all that, like, that's what you're going with. What exactly are you proposing, Miss Witz? I propose we make the game even. Here we are. Just as witnesses only have a limited time to respond to defense's arguments, the defense should only have limited time to present said arguments. It's only logical. Emotion versus logic. What? Why are you so concerned, Polly? You just had half an hour to prepare your arguments. Oh god, she's great. Oh, she's a great villain. Oh yeah, another thing I was thinking about it now. She even has enough foresight to literally do the whole thing with the golden plate of with the judge with a plate and the phone, the bust. 480 is a real push. He's a culprit steal, and immediately picking up the fact that he would know what the phone number would be, like turn off the cameras beforehand and like threaten him with all that, so Paul does not get sentenced to actually be everything like that. And that's the one thing I love about this whole game. Oh, lordy Lou. Oh, lordy Lou. God. The whole thing, oh, God. The whole thing is literally just presenting herself to be as good as possible, lying by being nice to make sure it's literally just manipulating people to present yourself as a completely nice person in order to get what you want. Oh boy. Oh boy. Oh god. You just had a half an hour to prepare your arguments. You shouldn't need extra time to get together. She was planning this the entire time. I fell for her trap completely. And, oh boy, you had to literally present evidence and everything like that as a complete timeline. Oh boy. This isn't standard procedure. It has to be illegal. I'm afraid it's not, Mr. Justice. In anticipation for my first trial, I perused the new laws of the jury system, and nowhere's Miss Witt's idea expressly prohibited, whether it's a good idea or not. And she's a law student, like, beforehand, and, like, she probably looked into the jury system because of all of this. She would take any means necessary to look through it. Oh god, everything is going together, goddamn it fucking Christ. Besides, there are many precedents of judges experimenting with procedure. What? Why did I have to get the only judge that actually knows law? Because of the world hates you. Wasn't the motto judicial reform in the 21st century flexible with methods, inflexible with results? What? Wait. That's another way of saying the ends justify the means. If this is what they call justice, I better change my name back to Grimare. Oh my. Just think, Your Honor. If this works, you'll get all the credit. Other judges will follow in your footsteps. They'll dub you a genius for dividing the system in only your second trial. And using emotional arguments to like go to your advantage too, and the worst part is I can't think of anything exactly bad to say. Like, I can't think of anything in the top of my head about all this. Because, honestly, I would just become a fucking hypocrite, and I literally just can't think of anything against that, because even as Paul mentioned before, like, if you don't have this as evidence on your side, then, like, motive and all that becomes secondary. If you don't have an emotional reason for it happening, as long as you actually have logical proof for it, then, like, it makes sense. And the only thing we have so far is a little piece of gum to indicate it was her. And only that, in small tight stuff which you managed to completely, like, cover over so many times over. True, but I'm not sure. This would go through. Perhaps it would get caught in something stupid like human rights. What? Oh my god. What is going on here? Well, this is literally just complete extreme commentary about the legal system here. It's like Rhea is infecting everyone with her insanity. And I feel like, God, this even makes it so much better in terms of just, oh, all this. The whole theme of Apollo Justice the game is literally just not everyone is entirely innocent and doubting everything. You can't really trust everyone. All the main characters and everything like that, besides Apollo himself, are people who have done something wrong in one way or another or have completely hard times. First game was literally just oh, your mentor was actually the killer. Phoenix Wright was disembarred, which you only found out later was completely, not his fault. The time he gives you forged evidence by Trucy to hand over to present in court to save his own skin. Even though he definitely was innocent, he used forged means to go through it. The ends justify the means. Second case was literally just all about your defendant was literally just a gangster. Sure, by the end they were going to be completely go clean. All that because of the bullet that went into Walkie-Talkie's body and started staving off and almost was gonna kill him in years past if the doctor supposedly fixed it up. And then Nurse Tiala literally just married and that whole bullet thing was gonna come into light. And she wasn't actually planning to she was actually planning to kill the victim and didn't even seem like she actually was planning to frame anyone for it. Just how it is, just breaking into the office just to steal the report, then getting strangled, and then both double whammy thing of killing someone and actually try to kill her, and also literally also someone who's going to reveal everything, which is kind of bad, but still. And third case, literally just another thing, defendant lied about being blind, actually knows how to speak English, was actually smuggled in a cocoon for just money and all that. And then fourth case, literally using the jury system to your means of your own end to all of this. And now this is going to the extreme end of using ends of sort of means to the wrong way. Oh God. And of all people, you know who respect you the most for this, don't you? Your father, of course. Yay. No, the ties that bind us. Very well. Your request is perfectly reasonable and shall be implemented for the remainder of this trial. Objection! Don't listen to her. Aren't you the one who said earlier that when dealing with men's lives, the ends don't justify the means? Yeah, inflexible with means, inflexible with results. That's only just what it means in a roundabout way. Be quiet, Mr. Justice. The whole world has gone insane. If this doesn't work, your career will. Shut up! I've had enough of you questioning my judgment, especially when you aren't experienced yourself. Oh God. Apollo has more cases than you have so far. This is your second case. This is Apollo's fifth. Oh no. Experience has nothing to do with this. And judgment? Oh boy, well guess what? Everyone here is goddamn fucking biased, so get off your fucking high horse right now. Oh boy, oh God. You shut your mouth, you egotistical psychopath. Honestly, Apollo, you need to learn some respect. You wouldn't know respect if it wasn't for a hole in the ground. That's right. Calm. I've been very indulgent with you, giving you the benefit of the doubt many times. You are making extremely grave accusations and will thus be held accountable in exchange. Oh my God. You will have a limited time to present proofs to substantiate the claims you're making against Miss Witz now. Should I just, save? Okay, fine, let's go. Okay, if I'm gonna preemptive this, if we have to have a little time, and if we're making a timeline, we literally need to pay attention to literally everything that happened in this entire fan case. From beginning to end. And one of the few things we haven't used this post-it note, which I guess we have to present at some point, of literally all this, and we still haven't used the virus in the... Well, we have technically didn't use this to present it, but it was brought up, so Maybe that... Oh, and the psychological profile. We never touched that before. We probably need to touch that. Okay, let's go. The claims you're making against Miss Wits. Alright. Ria, you may have changed the rules of the game, but you still won't win. Okay. Right now, the only person I can rely on is myself. In some ways, that's really scary. But it's okay, because I have the evidence on my side. I just need to stay calm, think logically, and trust my intuition. This is your last chance to save yourself from a humiliating defeat, Paulo. Are you sure you want to go through with this then, even though it's obvious you're gonna lose? Of course. Even if I'm the only person in this room who hasn't fallen for your tricks, I still won't let you win. Very well. What? Orchestra music. Okay. May now present your arguments, Mr. Justice. Okay, so you're leading the charge of me to, like, substantiate with evidence. Okay. Okay. I need to be careful about the number in the upper left corner now. Don't force break the wall of the game, okay, right now, but I don't see a number. It's gonna appear, though. Alright. Here comes justice. On the night of December 27th, you snuck out of my office and came to this place. Snuck out of my office and came to this place. Okay. Out of this office and came to this place. I guess the... Oh, I can see the timer slowly going down. We actually have a bit more time. Okay, I think it was the classroom, because you set that up. You went to the biology classroom at Larry Butt's high school. You went there to murder not Judge Chambers, but Robert Erlenmeyer. Ha! Your first argument and your story has already fallen apart. How could I possibly know Robert Erlenmeyer would be there in the middle of the night? Even the police had no idea. That's a good point, but like, where else would he go besides his own house then? You knew. You knew because of something you witnessed on this day. Something you witnessed on this day. Something you witnessed, hon. Why would you first think that he went there? My only first thought is maybe something about him, something that happened on this day. Something on this day. 27th. So like the 20... Chambers trial investigation, Erlenmeyer's first trial. Let's just save here again. Erlenmeyer's first trial, day 1 okay, Chambers trial. The trial maybe? Oh, it's actually, the timer actually continued going down like this. Erlenmeyer's first trial, let's go, the trial, maybe she learned something there? Let's go with it. I don't know what exactly happened that day that would cause me to know. Maybe the phone call and all that? Well, I thought that, yeah, okay. You actually had something in mind, I think you would be coherent. Yeah, no. But how would you know? How would she know out of all this? The phone call and the phone, why is it still going like this? Oh, the penalty and the timer's still going. Stop me trying to give us a real answer. Erlenmeyer's first trial, day 1, investigation, Chambers trial? My first thought was investigation for, like, you know, this, but, like, happening after, but there's nothing for it. Okay, Erlenmeyer's first trial, day 1, first trial, day 2. Erlenmeyer's first trial, day 1, day 2. This is the day 1 of this trial. This is day 1 of only this trial. Is that it? Oh, that's meant to be the investigation. God damn it. Mrs. Poole told me all about Erlenmeyer's first trial where you witnessed Ria. They could have made that a bit clearer, like investigation, like separated from like this is the trial day and like, well, all of it's like before like the crime. I guess it makes sense. God damn it, that's a bit obtuse though. And I specifically remember this comment that Erlenmeyer made. I'm sorry, I've been a bad boy, but there's no need to send me away. I'll punish myself. I promise. I'll pay for everything as soon as I'm out of here. Mice, they can be your friends, or your enemy just the same. Yeah, I remember that, but like, where's the phone call? Like, where else would he go besides that? Like, why would you make the connection of the mice in his laboratory, though? You shouldn't worry about me. You should worry about them. They get lonely in their cages, you know? I'll punish myself as soon as I get out of here. So literally, he did actually tend to commit suicide with the virus and the mice, actually? And that's where that's gonna come in then. Meaning, as soon as he got out of prison, he'd visit his mice in his biology classroom. Everyone thought it was just Erlenmeyer's usual nonsense. But he understood what it meant, Ria. If you can understand, use the translations of the euphemisms of fruit, and plums, and peaches, and strawberries and lemons, then you understand this game of cat and mouse. So when Erlenmeyer was busted out of Clooney's asylum, like years later, like actually a year afterwards, or a few months at the very least, while the authorities were dumbfounded, you knew exactly where he was. That reference to his mice might make sense, but what about punishing himself? No blood, no instruments of torture. This contradicts your theory that his remark reflected on what he would do after his escape. Actually, I do have evidence that he punished himself. So, like, would it be present the mice or the virus itself, actually? Mice, actually? Or if it's not that, then a virus. Okay. I brought up these mice earlier in the trial. No mousey smells, squeak, squeal. I believe I've already mentioned that they were infected with a rare virus. Specifically, the MLJ5 virus. I learned this when Detective Sky and I investigated the classroom, and found these strangely colored mice. They're meant to be yellow like the plague. Obviously, the mice couldn't have been infected long before the night of the murder, or a teacher would have noticed. Erlenmeyer must have injected the mice with the virus himself, then played with them so that he would be infected. Did the school just have that virus inside them, inside their storage closet this whole time? That's just hilarious. I guess if they're testing things out, the virus itself, I think that's below a high school pay grade and curriculum. After all, the MLJ5 virus is able to be transferred to human beings. There's also that safety risk too. And like, I still don't quite understand what is the paralysis meant to go to actually? Like actually stops the heart, or literally just a self-harming tactic, not too serious. Obviously we could figure this out. You could too, Rhea. Wearing gloves, you drove to Larry Butt's high school. Man, you wore gloves to drive your own car. Man. You went to the classroom, knocked Erlenmeyer out, and then set up the mysterious bus crime scene. But when, like, it won't be too hard as I mentioned up before if you can use the printers in the school itself. And obviously another way is like just going through the same exact way that Erlenmeyer broke into the school as well. Yeah, it coincides. You then put Erlenmeyer in the trunk of your car and drove to Forest Bone Cemetery. I guess why would I go there? No idea. You just want to kill him there? To dispose of the body, of course. Wait, all the bodies are disposed in cemeteries? How exactly would going to the Forest Bone Cemetery help me get rid of the body? If I really wanted to get rid of it, I would have dumped in a river or something. There was something in the cemetery that let you get rid of the body. Something like this. Something the cemetery let you get rid of the body. Like what? Something that let you get rid of the body, just going through. Underneath snow? It's gonna fade out though. Something to get rid of a body. Something to get rid of a body? I don't, like, is it a choice or we have to present evidence? You need to pick out the spot, the scene of the crime that shows them what I mean. Shows them what I mean, the crime? Like, the woods? I guess the woods, first guess. I actually just want to see how they take it. Well, if it destroys, eat your credibility. I just want to see how they do it. It's not the right way, but like, let's see. Nothing else. I just want to see if that would work. Like how they feel about them in the woods, like the prison break happened all those years ago. It really doesn't take much thought. I thought they would have something for that then, but they didn't. Okay. Where better to hide a body than in someone else's grave? Rhea, you made a big deal about how you were a funeral director earlier. You must be very familiar with the layout of the cemetery and know about burying bodies. Apollo, I'm a businesswoman, not a grave digger. Well, I mean, anyone could be a grave digger. All you just need a shovel. Or a giant excavator crane. My job is arranging funerals so families can help cope with the grief of losing a loved one. And doesn't that mean you have, like you know exactly which ones to use? And like, oh, and which soil is more fresh to, I guess, dig up so it doesn't hassle later. If it's, like, freshly, you know, dug up. But you had a side job of causing grief. It's a never-ending cycle. I cause the harm, kill people, and get the money from, you know, the grieving families. It's a win-win situation. Give them a plant. It wouldn't be good for you if the bodies were found. Everyone always wondered where victims of the mysterious bus murders went. and how they died, but I guess it doesn't matter. I bet if we investigated Forest Bones Cemetery, you'd find 12 previously missing bodies, the victims of the serial killings. Ooh, sweating now. You can't just exhume a bunch of bodies like that. Those people's relatives would be devastated. With a court order, it's very possible. And if maybe some of them like had like tragic incidents, I'm pretty sure that maybe some of them would be okay with trying to find out who caused the deaths of other people too. If that. In other cases, the court order would suffice. Especially with sufficient evidence, which I'm sure it will have soon enough. You can't. Moving on. You arrived at the cemetery and took Erlenmeyer out of your trunk. However, you noticed another car there and ran into none other than Judge Chambers paying homage to his brother. It's kind of almost ironic that the thing that's getting your caught is literally just someone paying respect to the victim she killed, literally. I don't know what exactly went through your mind, but I'm sure one thing was clear. He had seen too much. You fought him with your bare hands, albeit with gloves on. During the struggle, 2 pieces of gum fell out of your pocket. Is it actually gum actually meant to be unchewed this whole time? Although you didn't notice them, and they were soon covered by the snow in this fight. You were finally able to knock him unconscious, but set off the alarm in the process. However, you had an idea. You stole Chambers' keys, then ran him over him with his own car. You then planted Erlenmeyer's fingerprints to the steering wheel and keys, and left him in a pool of Chambers' blood. Unfortunately, you didn't remember to plant the fingerprints on Chambers' robe. Actually, think about it, since they made a big deal about if there's no drugs in Chambers' system, did the police actually bother doing the same thing with Erlenmeyer? Or he was knocked out with, like, a bludgeoning weapon or something like that? If they didn't, then that's bias for you. You were used to having everything in control, and planned out the meticulous details of your crimes in advance. Once something unexpected happened, you had to think on your feet. And failed miserably. And that, Your Honor, is the sole truth of this case. I can guarantee you won't find any contradictions, Rhea. Contradictions? Perhaps not, but implausible assertions and leaps of logic here? You could fill a book with them, or fill a grave in this case. Give me an example. Motive, for one. I've already given up on your integrity, so I won't comment on how despicable and ludicrous your accusation that I am the mysterious bus killer is. Let's say for a moment that I was the serial killer. You don't really need a motive at this point. Isn't the one person that wouldn't be a victim be Erlenmeyer, the man incarcerated in my place? Killing him would be quite foolish, don't you think? That's actually another, like, I have an actual explanation in my head of why you decide to put the mysterious bus killer, like, I guess next victim as Erlenmeyer, but I'll say that to it, but, like, time being, it doesn't make much sense. Don't waste your breath, Rhea. You both know it was brilliant. Yes, it would be stupid if you left the bodies of your victims as they were, but you hid them. While Erlenmeyer was in prison, there's no way you can murder anyone, or else the authorities would see Erlenmeyer was not the killer. But if Erlenmeyer escaped, and was then secretly killed, you could murder all the people you wanted, and the police would always be searching for a man they would never catch. It's actually almost a perfect crime. It would have been the perfect crime, if not for Chambers' mix-up at the cemetery. Wow. You're right. I never even thought of that. Never knew you had such a corrupt criminal mind, Apollo. If you're gonna go after, like, serial killers and all that, you sometimes have to think how they would act. Like, honestly, who fucking cares about that? Well, anyway, that was just my epigraph. Okay. And your epitaph. The jokes are great. Have you forgotten that one of the victims of the murderers was, you know, my own brother? You've seen me talk about him. It's not, I don't know about the statistics for murder and all that, but, like, for kidnapping and, like, other horrendous acts, it's usually also tied most likely to people who actually know the victim, like, personally or close to them. Honestly, don't know how that goes to actual murder, though. You see me talk about him after he was dead. Does it seem like his death made me happy? Crocodile tears, Rhea. You insensitive, wicked, thoughtless meanie. Are you really suggesting that I not only didn't love my brother, but also murdered him? I doubt you even know what love means here. Yeah, I mean, she's been if she's been hanging out and like actually been friends with Judge like for over a year or even more maybe, then honestly, no. You just knows how to make a facsimile of it. But even if you did, that love had no meaning to you. Yeah. After all, you had a very good reason to kill Nathan Witz. Very good reason to kill him. Very good reason. Like... Oh, like, Han, let's see if this is right. Like, I have an idea, but I don't know how to exactly prove with evidence. Let's see, is it, like, literally just the case files? You're just gonna wave that around every time. Are you just gonna wave that around every time you're in a corner? What page is alleged reason on? Okay, let me just demo. Okay, the timer's still ticking down. Let's see. Where is it? Victim's photos of killers assigned with viewing up close. The murders. Nope, nothing else. What if we have to use this somewhere else? Okay. Where was it? Literally just the case summary? Nobody's found in his bedrooms. Like, literally just to be part of the... just be part of investigation, really. Literally just that. Case summary, victim data, trial data. Just trial data? Actually, would it work here for trial data? Just you want to be part of it? Or case summary? Either of those two. It's right here in the trial data. Which that page was on again? Just to be sure. Trial data. Oh, the trial data is like literally the first page, right? Yeah, all this. Literally just be a witness. Just be part of it. It plainly says here you were a witness in Erlenmeyer's trial, but you weren't a witness because Nathan was killed. It's the opposite. Nathan was killed so that you could be a witness. With your brother as a victim, no one will find it suspicious once you got involved in the case. And, oh boy, then we have a whole conversation with Emma about someone involved in the investigation most likely will be the one to know exactly how to fake a copycat version of Mitzchievous killing. There's that. You'd get confidential, inside information that would put you one step ahead of the authorities. Yeah, if you like know how to kill and like you get some instant information how the police would act and like respond, like, and you play as someone who is like a victim of the actual like killer, then they would give you at least some leads or like how they think they should approach things. Honestly, like what was it? It's kind of similar to like I think it was Ted Bundy or like some other serial killer. Top of my head, I can't think of like my head. Someone who was very friendly to the police officers, and they literally just chatted them up and literally just like maybe got some load information of where not to like steer their attention away, and literally just by talking to them, being friendly with them, actually make sure the suspicion goes away from them because, you know, you're just friends. Your friends won't obviously do anything like that, right? With trust and all that. Most of all, you could use this position to lead the police against a scapegoat. Turnabout scapegoat. Testifying against Erlenmeyer, befriending Judge, you did it all for your own benefit. Of course, this is also the reason you became my assistant. Yeah, you just came down one day, randomly. You joined me to make sure the truth came out when you found out Judge had supposedly killed Erlenmeyer, and you thought it wasn't the whole story. It was actually in your best interest to actually help us out completely in the first half of this game, and we would not be suspicious at all. Because even, like, faking, like, a reason to why you would care, honestly, would work, too. The fake motive you provide was actually really, like, good enough as well. Emotional intelligence doesn't work on that, right? As long as you set up beforehand and all that. If you play your cards to be completely both, like, playing to emotional and intelligible reason, which you're exploiting to every single measure. Fine, but this is only beginning. Okay. I haven't faltered yet now, and I won't falter anytime soon. Let's talk about the killer's modus operandi. Oh no, this is the one thing. Oh boy. The Charles Darwin signature? Erlenmeyer was a biology teacher. Is she did music? Erlenmeyer could sing the melody even when he couldn't form a coherent sentence. Sing it? I thought I only just knew the staves on it, not sing it. Well, I say that because I don't know how to read music notes on a sheet. Naked photographs? His mental condition must have made him sexually frustrated. Oh, okay. With okay. We're gonna go with that, okay. All these things fit in with Erlenmeyer's psychological profile, but have absolutely no connection to me. Let's see here. No, that's wrong. Psychological profile, where is that again? Where is it? Passive, weak, non-violent, usually calm, reserved. I don't think there's anything here about sexual stuff in here, honestly. I don't think there's anything about that. No, there isn't. Don't think I remember anything about that, so I'm bull to that. Yeah, but what about the other aspects of the modus operandi you conveniently left out? The photographs were shaped in the form of a bust. Let's just be sure of that. One of the famous clues by the serial killer usually photos of the victim. One of the famous clues of the serial killer, not a fake. The Shine Charles Darwin sheet. What was the other thing? What was the other modus operandi parts? One particular caught my attention, especially because I have evidence linking you to it. Oh. Of course, I'm talking about this. Oh, one aspect. Oh, it's either the photos or literally this, I think, actually. One of these two, actually. And is the timer just gone, or? I can't tell if it's, like, either this one or the actual other photos. The naked photographs of the victims were, of course, fake. Just like this picture of you and your brother that you showed me. Did you actually have a close relationship with him? Or did you just lie about you just don't like, you're just camera shy? He was just camera shy. How many people involved in the MT5 case have the technical ability to make these kinds of fakes? You kind of just flaunted that around the first day. Well, there's me, for one. But did you leave something at the crime scene and know several details you shouldn't have? No, but you still did make strange leaps of logic, and the case against Erlenmeyer is still much more sound. I couldn't have said it better myself. He's right, antennas. I'm still not finished. We still have the climax of my book, the best part. Oh, can I see that book? I want to see the publisher. There is a critical flaw in your premise, which completely destroys your entire argument. Try. Really? Please tell the court this flaw at once. Of course, Your Honor. Are you ready, Apollo? Here it is, the coup de grace. Oh, it's an extra testimony. Oh boy. The coup de grace. Oh, this is not graceful at all, is it? Why did Erlenmeyer confess to being the mysterious bust killer if I am actually the criminal? Oh, we're going with that. Oh. Oh, shit. That was the one thing. Oh, I love this. Oh, I'm gonna love this. That's it? Quality, not quantity, Apollo. But we've already been through this. Yes, it's been mentioned, but you sidestep this issue every time. Erlenmeyer spontaneously confessed. No one pressured or tortured him into it, that we know of. He had no reason to lie. It was only logical that he was not lying. You can't dispute this. We'll see about that. Let's start the cross-examination. Actually, it's my job to say that. Please, go on, say it with little dignity you have left. Then hurry up and say it, thank you. Oh, yes, you may begin your cross-examination, Mr. Justice. Oh, thank you, you're not doing that justice. Oh my god. God damn it. Why did Erlenmeyer confess to being the mysterious bust killer if I'm actually the criminal? I think we really just present the psychological profile here, but press those buttons. Under what exact... I said all I need to say. Now present evidence or prepare to repent for all your outrageous actions. This would definitely be the coup de... For whom? He is right. I've avoided the issue in the past. Because once I do, it's all over for Rhea. Why did Erlenmeyer confess to being the mysterious bust killer if I'm actually the criminal? Literally, psychological stuff. Oh, let's go. Objection! In the psychological profile, page, sentence, where exactly in that wall text does it shed any light on why Erlenmeyer would admit to being a serial killer? Before we go into that, because timer again, let's see here. Introvert, okay, let's see here. Test to determine the patient is partly distinguishable from all that. Reality from fiction, recurring words, delusional beliefs. Neighbors who knew the patient before arrest we have most certainly noticing the mental illness above. Therefore, its current psychologist must be seen a result of a recent event bringing back to trauma from his youth. So literally just this paragraph, page 4. I need to point to the sentence that shows why Erlenmeyer admitted to the crimes. Which page should I look at? Page 4 plus. Okay, page 4. For his current psychosis must be seen as a result of a recent trauma bringing back to his consciousness a trauma from his youth. Doesn't mean anything in relation to causing Erlenmeyer to confess. Causing him to confess. Causing to confess. Well, that makes sense, I guess, like we need to present somewhere else? Or it's stickler of the rules, we have to present the sentence above it. You said the reason was in here, I at least expect you to know where. Thank you. Bye. Come on, Apollo, the reason Erlenmeyer confessed must be in here somewhere. Which page should I look at? Lily just, he literally, like, just found... It's either the story of the cat or that paragraph entirely. Oh, hold on a second. Wait. Oh, hold on a second. It's actually probably that. Hold on, let's see. Remember scolding him and his father bearing Charles? He died because of me. I killed him, Mom. That's page 4E, right? 4E. Yeah, the very last page, okay. Save just because. 4 plus, 4E. He died because of me. I killed him, Mom. This psychological profile is the key to understanding Erlenmeyer's insanity, and with it, the whole case. As the court can read in the psychological profile, when Erlenmeyer was 8 years old, his cat Charles, was run over by a black car. When Erlenmeyer witnessed his parents burying Charles, he believed he was the killer, even though he had done absolutely nothing wrong. Now, what if something happened that caused Erlenmeyer to remember this trauma? Okay, it's literally just swap back and forth to that. And what if this something led him to believe he was the mysterious bus killer, just as he thought he killed Charles? What do you mean? I believe history has repeated itself. Ria, you are a history buff. The Pericles, Greek myths and all that. There's all over in this Latin. Erlenmeyer is driving during the night and gets into an accident, like the one that killed Charles. After that, he comes upon Ria burying a victim, just as he witnessed his parents bury his cat. The impression was just too strong for Erlenmeyer. In his mind, everything was connected, and he was the one responsible. He lost his sanity and was convinced that he had killed the person being buried. Normally, Ria would have killed a witness like that, just as she did with Judge, but this time, something unusual happened. I'm sorry. I knew I shouldn't have killed him. I've been a very bad boy. I promise. I'm telling everything to police, Mommy. Ria understood what he meant. Insane minds think alike. You lost your sanity. She fed his fantasy and told him details of the murder only the killer would know. And she's like talked to him more, like he could also like just find out that he speaks in random euphemisms and all that. And he would be in this like traumatized state for like years or months to come, honestly. Erlenmeyer then turned himself into the police, and I think we all know the rest. And that, ladies and gentlemen of the jury, is how Ria Witz, when you see now, murdered a dozen people, tricked Robert Erlenmeyer into believing he was the mysterious bus killer, and then killed Judge Chambers to protect her secret. Defense rests its case. Bow. End scene. Having fun with that? You're resting your case, Apollo, at that? It's better than not rolling in my own grave. What do you mean? A fascinating narrative you wove, Apollo. Sure, there are no contradictions, but there are still your leaps in logic and crazy assertions. Yeah, there's actually no exact concrete evidence. And the fingerprints and all that, like, still, I guess, are more proof, like, more possibility that Erlenmeyer actually killed Judd instead, but yeah, circumstantial evidence. Literally, as Miss Poole brought up before, motive-wise, don't think I didn't forget about that, but the whole thing of just and all that, oh boy. If you have decisive evidence, motive is secondary. But if you don't have anything conclusive, like going back again to D. Vasquez, then you get to prove motive. And I think the only reason like that case was won was literally just by that point, because the whole instead of like saying you killed him just because like and all this, like literally just self-defense. And then she decided like it's fine to actually like confess and talk about it. Even if like she goes to jail for it, like I guess the whole thing of like, at least I didn't really kill for like intensive, like with intent. It was just an accident. You can only psychoanalyze to divert us from the truth so much. I like psychoanalyzing. Why do you think I go on to like talk shows? How much can we truly understand the human mind? Not too much, as Miss Poole mentioned at some point. Plus, I'm literally taking psychological classes, like psychology class right now, and I'm mostly presenting with so many different theories and how they all contradict each other, and there's no clear way to actually how to understand it. But we can make inferences and all that, and make logical sense with what little we know. But I'm pretty sure we go into smaller details, and everything would go crash and burn. If you have reports of this alleged accident Erlenmeyer got into before meeting me, we could just look into like his family before the murder happened, and like find out if his car got towed at any point, or was taken to a scrapyard, or lead to any repair shop. And we can ask Bob Erlenmeyer or Sean. I think his name is Bob, but Sean Erlenmeyer is way better name. Why did you keep that? It's great. Everything you have is circumstantial. You still lack the most important part: decisive evidence. And probably thinking about it even now, even for proof like he did have a car accident, it literally doesn't prove that he saw the murder. And if he was in a delirious state afterwards, then the only thing I guess we can prove is that literally if the car crash happened near that cemetery. And you've rested your case, meaning you've shown us everything you have. But none of it was decisive. I'll admit, I may look suspicious, but he can twist it around into almost anyone. How about Detective Marshall? Why did he suddenly come back? How did he know so much? No, you're doing psychological warfare. Stop! Stop! Where did those drops of whiskey at the crime scene come from? There was no whiskey. You're a crook, Apollo, you know that? Accusing me when you know from the start that you don't have decisive evidence. I'm sure the press is gonna love hearing about this. Desperate defender accuses innocent woman of serial killing. If you were not disbarred, like your rotten mentor, I doubt you'll get many cases for a while. Oh boy. I wouldn't go so far to say that, little lady. If I do have decisive evidence, I can turn this all around for sure. And Lily just comes down to the jury system, honestly. It's like, it literally can only work for people who really cover up their crimes way too much. That's the jury system, but I better figure it out quickly. Decisive evidence, no decisive evidence. No, we don't have anything. The only reason we're suspecting Rhea of anything is because of some fucking gum. No, she's right. I don't have decisive evidence. You lose, Apollo. I suppose it's a good thing true justice prevails in the... Not so fast, Rhea. Who are you? Your mentor will be disappointed in you, Lady Justice. He's not here right now. He's on vacation, but what, do you have something on hand? Huh? Mr. Wright? I thought it was you. Have you forgotten everything he's done? Of course. Rhea, you may have been careful not to be safe in Erlenmeyer's first trial, but times have changed. What are you talking about? The jury system, of course. I don't specifically need circumstantial or decisive evidence. Just evidence that sways the jurists. Emotional arguments. Oh boy, it's just gonna go down to whether, my truth is way better than your truth, which sounds better. But everyone oh boy, if Erlenmeyer made a bigger impression than this, oh boy. No matter. I'm sure people as intelligent as them won't be fooled by your lies. I'm sure they won't be fooled by yours. Enough of this pointless bickering. She's kind of almost covered her tracks almost way too much. Lily's been years, honestly. And, even evading the goddamn police. If, even common sense people, get over that? Oh my god. If both the prosecution and the defense have rested their respective cases, I believe it is time to turn this case over to the jury. Nothing. Who's nothing here? Who is nothing? Are we all nothing? No. The jury is finished deliberating. This is it. The moment of truth. The number of jurors who voted guilty is 3. Wait, it's what? Wait, if 3 jurors voted guilty, then 3 jurors voted for not guilty. So there's a tie then. It's 6 jurists. 3 to 3. Interesting. Literally. 3 people think you're 3, 3 people think it's Erlenmeyer. A draw. What happens in a draw? A 3 to 3 draw results in a guilty verdict. Oh god, I guess it makes sense. Like, Gray's attorney is like, you need 4 innocent, like, you need 4, like, not guilty votes just even continue a trial. My god. What? The jury has made its decision. This court finds the defendant, Robert Erlenmeyer. Oh my god. Well, at least I'm kind of glad it doesn't like go boil down to we have some Deus Ex Machina actually solve everything for us. Oh hi, Emma. Where were you this whole day? You can't render the verdict quite yet, Your Honor. Emma, where have you been? Can it, Apollo? Investigating Miss Witz. I've had a bad feeling about her this entire time. From what? I searched her office and found 3 pieces of evidence. Not so fast, the jury has already reached a decision. Technically, if new evidence is presented before the verdict is officially handed down, they are allowed to change their vote. Yes. Yes. There's still a problem. The evidence is illegal, and thus should not give the jurors a chance to re-vote. Oh, we're going to evidence law thing from Rise of the Ashes. Oh boy, this is Paul's Rise of the Ashes. Why not bring stuff from there? Yay. Actually, Miss Witz, I have a search warrant here, right here, signed by one Paul Strings. Well, I'll say, like, even though he did some bad things, like, also, hey there, Gerald, he put you here, he did bust Erlenmeyer out of jail just to try to prove his innocence, and also, even though he's good, bad, intense, gray. He's gray. This is a nice step, though. What? Are you gonna reject that right now? You were gonna go against your father, which you care about so much? Even enough to, like, lie and protect, like, in first judge trial? He's technically still the Chief Justice. Even still in jail. Let the bias consume you here. Very well. Let us see this evidence. Okay. It's gonna be like, it's literally gonna be just... I'm forgetting the name of it now. It's the finale for Justice for All, the Nickel Samurai case. Alright, the first piece of evidence is this bracelet. Hi. Bracelet has a court record. Yay, we got it back, finally! Wait, hold on a second. So she's the one who stole it. You know, honestly, it kind of makes sense. Like, honestly, she was sleeping in your house when it happened, and she fed you drinks the entire time, even when, like, technically a quote-unquote serial killer was on the loose. Yeah, wait, hold on a second, let me goddamn see, where's the goddamn place? God damn it, it's Misato's order. The Magatama and the bracelet should be right here, right next to the goddamn badge, god damn it. So she's the one who stole it. Second piece of evidence is strong sleeping drug. Oh, wait. Sleep easy, nice. And finally, I have a computer file with information Arthur Chambers. Computer file as a court record. I must say, this evidence sure makes you suspicious, little lady. Like sleeping pills. Is that the drug that actually like let Erlenmeyer go to sleep, like knocked him out? So please didn't like actually like do a system check, a toxicology check? Okay. True, but none of his decisive evidence or directly ties Miss Witch to the crime. Yeah, circumstantial, plus I could literally, if we go down to Arthur Chambers' information, the flash drive, she'll just go down to, I just want to find out more about Judge's brother. And literally just spin a whole tale of like, I want to know more about him to find out how much he meant to him and like find out who he is. But I know that I can't ask Judgy Wudgy about it, Udgy. God. None of the jurists have opted to change his or her vote. I will now proceed to... shush you. While none of this may seem like decisive evidence at first, I believe I can use it to show that Miss Witz is the criminal. Just try. Very well, and this will be your last chance. Oh boy, you say last chance, I say save. All together now. Save, scum, save, scum, save, scum. Alright, I need to think carefully about which evidence to present, and how it ties with the crime. I only need to convince one juror in order to win the trial, and if you fail, one more juror just goes, that guy is stupid. Guilty. So, Mr. Justice, which of these pieces of evidence is so crucial? My first guess is literally, not the brace because it doesn't make sense, the drug. It's these drugs. Use these drugs on Erlenmeyer, Chambers, the other victims, Erlenmeyer. At the biology classroom in Larry Butts High School, when you met Erlenmeyer, you used this drug to make him unconscious so you could easily transfer and kill him. Oh, come on, Apollo, now you were contradicting yourself. Huh? Remember what you were saying about the MLJ5 virus he's infected with? The convulsion it caused prevented him from absorbing the drug. Convulsions? What? I see, so that couldn't have been the case. This court does not take bluffing too kindly, Mr. Justice. Honestly, why should I get arrested for murder just because I have a sleep disorder? What? Wait, Your Honor. What is it now? What Rhea said just now is a giant contradiction. What? You've just undone yourself. This is it. The break you've been waiting for. Slip-up time, yay, the best way. What you just said, coupled with this piece of evidence, exposes you as the killer. Exposes you as the killer? Oh, okay, now the timer's actually working in the top right corner actually now. Oh my god, it's like ticking down really fastly. Well, MJ fire reacts with animals' pigment and paralyzes their muscles, contagious to human beings. There's nothing about convulsions here, though. Okay, I was actually getting concerned if it was a glitch and we had to watch the timer tick down. We were told certain effects the MLJ5 virus had on animals, such as affecting pigments, and that it was contagious to humans. However, we never learned what its effects on humans were. Oh, it was only just to animals. Oh. Oh. So what? I was a pretty good student in school, Apollo. You were a law student. What if I learned about MLJ5 virus then? That's not even the main problem here. Let me summarize your testimony. I was walking along the street when I was suddenly knocked unconscious. When I woke up, I was in Forest Bone Cemetery, where I witnessed Erlenmeyer fight and murder Judge Chambers. Now tell me, where in that testimony did Erlenmeyer infect himself with a virus? Yes, I mentioned that Erlenmeyer infected himself with a drug, in the scenario where you were the killer. Your testimony says you weren't even anywhere near Larry Butts High School, and from the sounds of it, from where Paul's office is and like where he sleeps, the right anything agency in Larry Butts High School, which god damn it, I hate that name. Why they honor him? You had to drive there, but you specifically said you walk there in a singular night. By telling us that the virus caused convulsions, you just admitted that you met Erlenmeyer in that classroom on that night. You know that doesn't directly prove you are the killer. It's still completely different from your previous testimonies. Not bad for a lower life form. You egotistical, walking, talking superiority complex. Or perhaps figments of my imagination. Tell me my life is over, or you're going to slip into some now nihilism. My god. Oh well, at least I'll die knowing I did something with my life. What? I'll die knowing my life had meaning, like everyone else in this courtroom. What? You admit it? No way! Yeah, guess what? We weren't, like, no, you were way more biased than anyone else here. Have fun with that, with your career. You were all so concerned with what I did, with the past, with something that was dead and gone. Oh god. With mundane details, who did it, where, when, how. You spent so much time on these questions. You were so concerned with them. You stopped thinking about yourselves. Want to know what was the most amusing part to me, Polly? Oh, God. When everyone kept trying to make sense of the crime, the photographs, the music sheet, the bust, it was all meaningless. No motive for a serial killer, no motive for a modus operandi. I picked up some random words in dictionary and voila, my crime scenes. So, how does it feel to know the truth now? The very painful truth. I've been thinking about what you told me in the defense lobby. Here we are. And I finally have an answer for you. Oh, really? I'd love to hear what sort of inane response you devised. You were completely wrong. What gives meaning to our lives is other lives. Those people you talked about, who are truly living, who weren't afraid of death, those thrill seekers, they aren't afraid of death because they aren't truly living. They concern themselves with their own lives and try to find meaning in cheap, short-lived thrills. Do you know why a regular Joe Schmo, as you put it, will beg for his life when threatened? Because he has friends and a family that he doesn't want to leave. Friends and family that he does not want to suffer grief and hardship. Everything you said has been completely wrong, Ria. The only person in this room whose life doesn't have any meaning is you. Poole has been prosecuting solely for Judge and Arthur. Strings is a judge only because of his father. And my reason for staying in this world is right here. But you, Ria. You. God. I can't think of a better metaphor than this photograph. At first glance, it seems fine and normal, but on closer inspection, it's fake. You don't live for anyone, Ria. Not even yourself. You know, after all this time, literally just spending time with even just Judge and just even Apollo, it didn't mean anything. It was just another short thrill, which wouldn't amount to anything by the end. And even Emma, also was someone who was actually living for someone else. Her sister, she got into forensic science because of her sister, and went above and beyond. She tried to actually save her. Bob, Sean Erlenmeyer literally helped break like Robert Erlenmeyer out of jail because he honestly thought he was innocent from the very beginning. Every single person's entire case has ties in doing this, has a reason with someone else. With someone else. It's a reason to keep living. This is what your life is truly like, Ria. Face it, you're shallow, empty, imaginary. You think you've lived life to the fullest here? You think you're the greatest human being with the most meaningful life out of all of us? You're not. People won't care that you're gone. And I don't mean they won't mourn your death. I mean they'll care so little, they won't even celebrate your death. You think you'll live on history as an exceptionally feared criminal? Even that won't happen. You were one of the most pathetic criminals I've seen. The only reason you got caught was your own fault. You cross-examined yourself to confession. Ria, I gave you the shovel, and you kept on digging. I see. It all meant nothing by the end. Oh my. Have fun your makeshift grave, you. Get that thing out of my courtroom this instant. It's just you snap back to reality then. Bailiff, I said this instant! The battle was won. Without me. Finally. It's over. I won! Man, I love that. I love that speech so much. so much. Oh, I love it. I don't think this would be a surprise, but some jurors have changed their vote. Erlenmeyer is guilty now. I don't think anyone will mind if I hand out the verdict now. By unanimous decision, the jury has found the defendant, Robert Erlenmeyer, not guilty. Court is adjourned. Oh. Man, oh man. God, I love this fan game so much, this fan case. I'm glad I made this the final one. This whole case is over for good. Oh God, this feels so great. Mr. Justice, thank you for everything. For my acquittal and hearing your arguments what really happened. And why I'm not the killer. I feel like I'm starting to get better. Really? That's great news. It's all thanks to you, so, how's my brother? I think he'd be in jail. He's currently in detention for bailing out of prison. We got a reduced sentence and all of that, well, here's something to think about. If someone, like, was innocent, for a crime they were put in jail for, and they jailbreak, would they still be, arrested for breaking out of prison, even though they're completely innocent and proven innocent after the fact? That's weirdly going to gray territory of that, someone, like, doing some action, someone making a law and saying, since the law's made, you're now arrested. Just feels so gray. Oh no. I see. We may not have been the best of brothers, but there's no way I'm turning my back on him now, like I did when I was younger. Lady Justice. Okay, hi, you're still in career mode. Uh-oh, that doesn't sound good. I won't forgive you for this. Well, you could have spoken up at any point. It's kind of your own fault, too. For what? I thought you didn't hate me anymore. Well, in private, at least. The entire reason I've been prosecuting was to catch the mysterious bus killer. Well, you didn't really help at all by the end. You just, like, sat down and just, like, watched us do it, so, you could have just, like, said a word or two or anything like that. Well, you said something at the very end, but, that wasn't very too much. And you went and caught her all by yourself while I had nothing to do with it. What are you talking about? Don't play dumb with me. No, I'm serious. Mrs. Poole, I couldn't have done it without you. Empty words. I want proof, Antennas. Evidence? Sure. The evidence that Poole helped us is evidence that helped. What was it? Like, you talked about the file to us, actually. It was that. If that's not enough for you, then like literally all this other stuff. You talked about it and shared stuff about it, about the whole trial and everything like that, and even brought up, like, actually pointed us in the right direction for, like, the post-it note and, like, everything that was in Judge's bedroom, actually. Honestly, I'll go first with the file. Don't humor me, Mr. Justice. When you talked about it, and actually helps, like, literally just bringing up the whole details about Erlenmeyer, like, talking about mice, like, you know, and going to the classroom, and actually helped very much more. It helped a lot, honestly. Very. What? I was being serious. My regret is already turning in my letter of resignation. Otherwise, I would stay to mop the floor with you. No, I want to, like, that wasn't enough for you? Fine, that wasn't enough for you then. Because honestly, it should have worked, honestly. But everything that you could have helped with, then... Let's go with the post-it note and the sulfurics. Judge's note and his drugs. These are what let me find out what why Judge was actually killed. Let me figure everything out. There's that too. Plus, I think in a bigger way of actually figuring out of since you actually told and talked about the mysterious bus killer to the defense, it actually led to the mysterious bus killer getting caught. The smaller details which you wouldn't get from a passing, like, a normal skim through of an official report. Maybe they keep transcripts of, like, you know, of it in the file, but you just talking about that and a small detail of Erlenmeyer wanting to go to the classroom would have helped a lot. Along with this, those two in combination. And I wouldn't have ever found them if you never told me where Judge's house was. I suppose. Also, if you hadn't pointed out the holes in my theories, I wouldn't have been able to fill them in and convince the jurors. I suppose I can't have expected too much, because I was the prosecutor and the real criminal was not the defendant. What I did was probably the most I could have done, considering my position. I'm glad this is all finally over. I can finally retire. I wasn't nearly as tied up in this as you, but I'm glad too. I was running to let my personal feelings interfere with justice. I decided to turn myself in for submitting that forged psychological profile in Erlenmeyer's first trial. What? Even though I'm admitting I'm guilty, I'd still like you to be my attorney. Double what? Look, you're branching out for murder cases now. You're doing all this. Just get our lighter sentence. Have fun with that. I think you heard me clearly. You will just have fun getting that in the mail later on, Apollo. I need to think about it. Don't worry about it. You gotta stretch those, legal muscles, anything like that. Way better than Maria's when she went to just a career in law for a bit, then went to killing people like that. From the sounds of it, yeah, it goes all down to that. I eagerly wait your decision. I'm glad I met you. I'm glad you were the attorney for this case, Apollo. That was weird. Citation, Mr. Justice. You're short. Oh, hi, Your Honor. Court isn't in session anymore, Mr. Justice. Oh, sorry, but you're still wearing the robes, so and all that. It makes sense. No need to apologize. Congratulations, Mr. Erlenmeyer. Thank you. I love giving the monotone voice. Besides, I won't be called Your Honor at all from now on. What? I was a horrible judge, I realized. I changed the rules for you in the middle of the trial, and I was completely biased. For the real killer, no less. And this was only my second trial. I cannot remain a judge. I must resign. You can work on, getting rid of those biases and all that. And, finding someone who's way much better if you had a goddamn crush, honestly. No, you may have gotten a little weird. You're admitting he was goddamn weird, just crushing a serial killer. As long as it's it's not someone in real life and they're not trying to kill you, then fine. But not like that, no. But you were fine in the end. I appreciate it, but don't try to console me, Justice. I have been indecisive all my life. I never said the one time you were decisive, it was for the wrong cause. That's not gonna be also fun. The sole reason I became a judge was because of my father. I never actually wanted it. Oh. It's one of those things that you just wanted to just impress your dad. But you never had any affinity towards it in general, huh? This is the first decision I've made for myself, and I'm sticking to it. Alright. Good luck in, well, whatever you do from now on. Thank you. I truly hope we will meet again. It doesn't seem like anyone else is coming. Damn, we're not getting a parade for this, but honestly, nope. Once again, thank you for everything. I suppose I need to go back to my cell and clean these prison's asylum now. What? Why? If you prove Ria was the serial killer, I was only technically acquitted for the murder of Judge. Oh boy, this is gonna be an uphill battle for there, huh? But I'm sure I will have a retrial soon. Oh, yeah, I'm sure you will. It's just gonna be a bit longer, then you'll be fine and free. You actually get some actual good mental health, just an actual psychologist to talk to or a psychiatrist, and get back to your high school job with those mice. Have fun with that, playing cat and mouse. And then I can find the meaning in my life again. From Sean, the kids I'll teach, and from you. Goodbye, Miss Justice. I look forward to our next meeting. Goodbye, Robert. It's all over now. Ria's been exposed to the psychopath she is, and all the lives she's dragged down with her can finally continue from where they left off. She had no meaning in her life, and drained the meaning of others. Man, I love that sentiment so much, though. That's all over now. And speaking of the meaning of my life, I have a plane to Virginia to catch. Hey, airport time. Getting flashbacks to the very last scene in Justice for All. Literally, I still remember just playing through that. And get to the credits, and I did not see the after credits thing of Edgeworth and Francisca actually talking at all. And I only caught that from Wind of a Let's Play someone else made. Man, that was probably the most joyous I've felt. Since I felt like Francisca's character arc was just cut short a bit. And oh. Yes, I got here just in time. Attention passengers. Flight HTSL 56 to Virginia has been cancelled. We apologize for any inconvenience. What? This isn't... Oh, this isn't good. Oh, don't be so gullible. Seriously. Mr. Wright! Hello. Did you really forget my voice in such a short amount of time, Polly? Oh boy. Could you not call me that, please? Well, the trauma, god damn it. What's wrong? Something happened with the case? It's a long story. It's a long plane ride. Did you just grab a plane here just to grip Apollo and just go back? I think after all that, you definitely need that goddamn vacation, Apollo. Truly, honestly. It was kind of a mess. I proved the lunatic was completely normal. Got my girlfriend declared guilty of serial murder. Yeah, I guess there was that. You only know each other for like 2 or 3 days tops, which man, that's a fast burn right there. Quick, the wick has just burned itself out really quickly. The wax is all gone, and caused both the judge and prosecutor to resign. But you won, right? Well, yeah, technically. Then you're up. But man, all that, and it was only your 5th case. In my 5th case, I only got rid of a prosecutor and a policeman. Didn't you also get rid of a police chief? But it was the chief prosecutor and the chief of police. Yeah, I was way better in my 5th case than you and yours. Well, both actually chasing down, actually getting rid of a serial killer, I think is a bit more maybe there because maybe not power, but just in terms of just yeah, just mystique and all that. What? That's not what... Oh, come on, Apollo. The flight is boarding. I'm surprised you actually decided to go. Huh? Oh, you caught on. Oh my god. I didn't think you had the funds to pay for it. Oh, you're doing with that. God damn it. Huh? Wait, what? I suppose I can give you a loan if you need, but I can't guarantee the interest will be that good. You're getting charting interest. What? Huh? Huh? You have something to say, Apollo? Just one thing. Great. We actually missed it a little. Let it rip. Okay, here comes justice. This fan game is great. God damn it. Hey, look, it's Ping. Writer part 1, scripter part 1 and 2, 3, 4. God, there was so much. Man, I don't really know what else to add to this. Oh, I just love this fan case so much. And literally, hey, look, it's bad player. Oh god, he's in practically everything. God. Oh, did I mention this game sounds like Turnabout is awesome? Do me a favor, go play it. Yeah. I haven't checked it out, but meh. I checked out those 4 because they all looked okay to be forgotten. Tempecade, don't call him Pat, scripter and all that. Man, though, honestly, what about Turnabout Shotgun? You're just gonna give a lot of recommendations. I don't think I would go through those, though, honestly. Oh, hi, I thought we were not getting this. One of the many lessons that one learns in prison is that things are what they are, and they will be what they will be, Oscar Wilde once said. And doubly a befitting witticism when it comes to characterizing my present situation, don't you think? Although I can't say I fully fathom the philosophical significance of that particular statement. Okay. Let things be as it be, and all that. Man. But literally, that's a good reason why I like that sentiment at the very end, is getting meaning to life and all that. Because nihilism, that was something I struggled with when I was that young. and going through this tiny bit gave a little boost and all that. I finally found and got my dream job, but you'd never guess. A video game developer. Oh. So my passions combined in one great job. Even working on my own game. Soul Pings, Judicious Judge. Inspired by my father to make it. I'm still working the title. Yeah, Soul Pings. Yeah, have fun with that. And a lot of other games like had the same exact theme in some way and all that. Like, for example, the movie Everything Everywhere All at Once also is a great one. Man, and like those themes never get old. There's like a reason. There's a big reason why. So like has a similar. This game has a similar theme to like other games I play, which I love. Turnabout Scapegoat, prepare to suffer an atrocious death. Oh, like literally the Turnabout Scapegoat was actually being made as this game was too. I expect you to come here. Do you refuse to be my defense attorney? Of course, since I was guilty, there wasn't much to defend me with. But I know forged evidence isn't your forte. Kinda is, though. It's fine, really. I expect great things from you. So don't disappoint me, Lady Justice. I've actually seen people actually make the observation that the original, like, 3 trilogy games for Phoenix Wright, these after credit scenes of where they are, actually weren't meant to be towards Phoenix himself. It was really just to you, the player. And Phoenix just somewhere else. There's actually quite a lot of like fun things of reading translator notes and all of that. Music did not make the final cut. It's great to see you again, Mr. Justice. Although you did come in the middle of my lecture. Yeah, have fun with that. Just because it's only high school ball, it doesn't mean it isn't important. Why are the photos still in here? Back to our lesson on Charles Darwin. Started in 1831 to begin his voyage around the world on the ship the Beagle. I think you should probably clean up that those photographs. I don't think the students would see that, or the school would even allow it. Okay. But that's like a good reason. Like this fan case, I guess like halfway through it, like inspired like literally the rest of them in some way. Oh, hi again. You throw me into this double prison and you come to talk to me? What kind of jerk are you? Although, you see what you did for Bobby, I suppose I could forgive you. Seriously, thanks for everything you did. Even if I need to spend some time in here, it's worth it if Robbie is right. In the head again and isn't considered a murderer. Are you gonna go back to your prison guard job after I'm doing that? Even though it's for a noble cause, I'm with the stigma and all that, like make you get arrested or, well, mostly just lose your job for that place. The sweetest person in the universe. Yeah. Like, honestly, like, I'm having trouble how to rank this game because, honestly, I could either put this on par, like, it's Turnabout Scapegoat, like, well, the only thing I can really, like, I guess, go against for him. I knew something was wrong with that girl the moment I saw her, really. Don't you thank me for that? Didn't you call her girlfriend? Call her girlfriend? By the way, you were completely right about hiding your victims in the graveyard. Of course, now we have another problem. We're the victims of the mysterious bus murders. But now we're missing the rightful owners of those graves. Oh. One thing with this job is another. Would those be the bodies that were hidden in the woods, actually, that they found? And thought it would coincide to it? Oh, but then, if like, they haven't even figured out who the victims were, then... Oh, does that mean, like, immediately the bodies and, like, no one can really identify them? Oh, it's terrible. Ugh. Yeah, but the whole... Her just goddamn... Like... Her as a villain is great. I don't believe you, Polly. I can't believe you go and get a case without me. I wonder if it's a coincidence that you defend someone without me and your new assistant turns out to be crazy. Maybe you're cursed and it'll happen in every case without me. Have fun with that. How about your first case too, right? What? Don't give me that look. I mean, just think. It'll make finding the criminals so much easier. You know, honestly, the meta jokes, yeah. Yeah, but you kind of gave forged evidence over and all that. Man. When you started it all for advertising the game on court records. Oh, yes. You for playing this game. It's nice. And yo for watching. Yeah. I'm so proud to have a son like you. I heard from Phoenix that you're taking down quite dangerous criminals. That you've been using that bracelet to help you. Don't go on encouraging him, Thalsia. Before you know it, he'll be using it to cheat at poker. I noticed that, Phoenix. Entry's told me. Oh. I can't believe you would use my daughter like that. For cheating. Well, you see. Money was tight. I'm joking, I used to win blackjack all the time. Actually using Tracy was initially her idea. It seems like it runs in the family. You know what that means. We'll have to keep a close eye on Polly during his trials. Okay, have fun with that. Paul Strings ex officio. Oh yeah, these are the musics for like them. They're very more orchestral. Under 6 feet, that's the name for it. Oh, that's quite in the nose. That's actually really quite in the nose. Charles Darn Recollection. I think those like all those represented on the TV tropes page as well. Summer Main so is. Yeah, it's actually it was really fun to go through all these like fan games over, and I got some new appreciation for them instead of them going through them completely just without any, and I mean any, just thought put into it. Just going through it just very just like with my brain turned off and all that. Some of these actually get more fun and even fun to actually critique, or literally just a critique or just sit in, invest myself in, like Contempt of Court, and even this fan case, and to a lesser extent Trials of the Justice, and I still had my enjoyable time with Conflict of Interest, even though I had some issues with it. It was just really fun to go through all of them again, honestly. Really fun. Before I continue on, just like, I hope like when I was going through all of this that I didn't like accidentally spoil or lead anyone on to like a wrong or right conclusion, or just thinking about it if any of you were going through this blind. Because like honestly, I really hope I do here's the thing, I will lie for spoilers. Like literally, if I find myself getting caught into that, I will literally lie to anyone's face. I don't spoil anyone. I'm that deep into it, honestly. If I get caught on something like that, accidentally spoil anyone, I will lie my teeth out. So don't trust me when I go say stuff like that, but like just general opinion stuff and wise and all that. If I had to rank this like as before I was interrupted by the character introductions, which I thought weren't even gonna happen, it's almost like a weird dividing line, since obviously Contempt of Court is a way more longer fan game with like 4 cases, and this is by singular. I would still put this as really like on level with it based on like how concise it is. Plus, I love like the theming of the game, honestly. And it was just fun going through like the whole fan case. Like, I'm pretty sure all this, like, I literally, when I was like just recording the first half of this fan case, I literally did it in all one whole streak, recording it one after another. And I was having the time of my life, just like piecing things together. I was in the goddamn zone and all of that. And also a smaller detail, which I don't know if I brought up, is that when I first started going through these fan games with Contempt of Court, I literally, on most days, I don't remember when it started happening, that when I had to wake up to like do like errands, school, or chores, I literally just sometimes just woke up, rubbed the sleep out of my eyes, sat down, and just played another episode, and sometimes published it that exact day. I was having a lot of fun with it. That was before things got busier and busier, but that's life. Oh boy. Would put Trials of the Justice like below those two, and Conflict of Interest below those, like as the dead bottom. There's a lot of missed potential there and all that. There's some really good ideas. I still think out of all the cases in that one, that would be like, I guess technically but even though it was the first case made for it, technically the second one, because the new tutorial case would be the one with the skyscraper murder. Like, actually, I think I like that one a lot. Plus, obviously, the fourth one with the Thane Manor is the incident location. Small gripes, but like those 2 cases are actually my absolute favorite to go through. And oh geez, it's just really fun. Really fun to go through this. There's only a few games I can think of top of my head that I would actually want to go through a bit more, like later on. Like, of course, every time I go through like a game I've already played, I give it a break, which I'm gonna do now. It's gonna be like 3, 4, or 5 months before I go through a game that I want to show off, but it's gonna be a bit hard to go through. It's mostly just I want to set something up. Actually, I want to add more to it, and it's not gonna be everyone's cup of tea. Obviously, it's gonna be a hard sell. It's gonna be a hard sell, but like I gave you the chance the year, like last year, and did it on my own time, and I'm god damn it, I love it. Psychological horror, yay, it's great. We'll get to the coming to that though. Man, though, this game was really fun to go through all over again. Years later. Years later. Hi, Ria. Making another fake photo. And the game closed down. It crashed. And that was Turnabout Substitution. And I gotta say, one of the biggest highlights for this fan case for me, and the one I was most excited to go through and just see in all its splendor glory, was Rhea Witt herself. She's honestly a great character and villain through this entire thing. She actually feels like a combination of almost every Phoenix Wright villain in some way, taking itty bitty aspects from this one to this one all come together to her. Like, literally, like, well, obviously, her main inspiration is Dahlia Hawthorne from Trials and Tribulations. Literally, her base design is based off of beta designs of Dahlia as a character. Was that rose in the hair, like long hair, like, you know, the shirt, cut sleeves, all that. It's nice. She also dabbles into the whole thing about fame, and like just trying to make a statement in the world, like with Von Karma, and like a bit of egotism and like doing any means necessary, and also trying to use your own family against everyone else for your own gain, like with Clavier Gavin and Matt Ungard. Honestly, it feels like a great culmination of all the villains so far. Generally speaking, it's really nice and really cool. Even seeing him, even her like quote unquote nice phase of being an assistant, she's honestly really funny and really like nice to be around. And man, the whole thematics of her being a person who doesn't really care about life in general, meaning or otherwise, and just tries to take meaning from it by trying to be better than people and get her own sick like satisfaction from killing people in the rush of like outsmarting the police and all that. Then by the end of the day, the second that's gone, then she's practically nothing, as Apollo mentioned. It's honestly nice how well articulated it was. That she did all the stuff of like spending time with, you know, her brother. Maybe she didn't even like care about him, and literally staying with Judge and also with Apollo, where just literally just to be closer to the investigation and all that, and how they acted about like Rhea before her reveal. They felt they actually had a connection and a bond together for both of them, and none of it meant anything to her. None of it did, and nothing will ever do, because it'll just be cheap thrills for as long as she wants it to keep it that way. And man, I love that to be like a villain's motivation. It's like pointedly stated in this whole fan case. That's the reason why I loved it, the reason why I want to show it off, and literally inspired like the rest of their fan cases in some part. Literally just Content of Court being the main inspiration being made, just finding out now like halfway or like partway through development of this fan case, then To Confident Interest, who's inspired by Content of Court, then Trials of the Justice, which it feels like it was inspired in part by like the creations of those fan games and made for after the aftermath of Justice for All. Man, just the chain of inspiration is going down, and like there are definitely some like issues and all that. It was clear and apparent. Just some visual glitches and all that for this fan game, the fan case and all that. Not Guilt is my personal favorites, bobbing up and down of like Judge strings, Geralt strings, and smaller details like that. I'm struggling to think if I had any issue with technically any of the writing and like proceedings, because it always like felt really smooth and everything like that. the timing and all that for like this last section of facing off Rhea, I heard is the most controversial. Is the also another thing I was a bit hesitant on, and maybe you think it was like worse than I thought it would be, but it was just on my end. It was completely fine. I heard like it's seen the TV tropes page and like some other people saying like there was small glitches with it, which it seems like it was patched out, or I just got a copy of it, which that wasn't an issue. But it's honestly been very smooth. I was actually becoming thought it was gonna be worse or slightly bit less so than quality from the very beginning, just like how sort of like fast and almost like okay, I'm having trouble comprehending everything like so far right now. How everyone started speaking really like fast, everything like that, and trying to get as used to as much information as possible, but everything really smoothly glided along. Still having trouble figuring out what parts this fan case could do to improve itself. Besides that, there's got to be there's definitely going to be one or two things on there like addressing another character, hiding them up. Would actually kind of be kind of cool to like see how Robert Erlenmeyer's character be like a bit more explored, but like I can't think of anything egregious to think of like what to focus in on because like honestly just seemed like a cool character as like as an insane character to get along with. And even though like some of the like the smaller like nitpicks I have been patched up, it seems to be like well besides that one glitch of the car photo not being put like patched up and all that, I think this fan case actually aged like fine wine. And actually like I also love the fan case like again because I didn't like the direction that Dual Destinies and Spirit of Justice went, which is again, it's made by different authors and all that. They focused on something else they wanted to do and all that. It makes sense. It's fine. But I'm just so sad and disappointed of how much like they shadowed some characters and like flanderized one character to Athena and the new prosecutor there, so Blackwell is fine dandy. And the villain for that game, they're like a combination of like some of the the villains for like one or two of these fan games, which are done worse than these. Their identity wasn't even shown or like expressed at all until their final case. Then attacked and oh boy, they're gone and down and all that. Nothing else to it, and they, it's fine that Phoenix is brought back in and becoming a mentor. But then literally everything that he's done and went through in like the first 3 and 4 games literally was then just like just ridden away or just downplayed, and you can't build off because the no spoiler rule of the series is put into place up until then, and it completely shattered Apollo as a character and gave him so many backstories. Man, the games are fun, but like there's no, I guess, there's no spirit into it. Dual Destinies or like Spirit of Justice. Man, Spirit of Justice is a good game, but man, I didn't feel like there was any real emotion besides the second case of that game when they actually like address a part of what happened to Apollo Justice and like the characters were there even slightly, even when they didn't spoil it, they hinted at it, and honestly, I lived for that. And Apollo trying to be like having a new character and backstory there for that game. Well, most of the game is literally all but Phoenix going into that new land and that legal system there and battling that off. Then Apollo Justice is now immediately the new protagonist out of nowhere. It's really mixed swapped and all that. There was no personal stakes and all that. If there was, it wasn't accentuated too hard enough. Man, man, oh man. I think that's what like Phoenix Wright as a series is like its biggest strength, having like personal attachments or like having like very good like human like connections and plots and like even for the murder themselves, like why the killers do it and that doing and all that. Even when they're simplistic, some of them really do stand out. Now there's even though they're misguided, they have their heart in the right place. Like that's why I like the series, and that's why I went through this, and why I wanted to show these fan cases off, because they also have that really good passion. Even this fan case, as I mentioned, I think the very first episode of this has gone into like a Nintendo magazine, not English. I think it's Norwegian, top of my head, but it's still so cool, the passion put into all this. And man, oh man, I absolutely love the passion that went into this and all that. From this one story ends, we're on to another. I don't think I'm planning to go through any more fan case the time being. Like honestly, there's might be a few fan games of like Danganronpa. I'm really looking forward to actually going through, just watching or just playing through. I'm already in following several projects, and man, like this fan case like started up my whole trip down fan made content. Some of it's really good. Some of it's really good. Some of it I can put on par as being as good as the actual original and beyond. And honestly, it's a case for like fan fiction stuff. Like I guess I'll talk about a bit about like Phoenix Wright series in general. That obviously by Dual Destinies and like Spirit of Justice, like technically those are technically official fan fiction, really. Like taking someone else's characters and like putting your own spin on it. I'm not putting it as a derogatory term. Like I already said before, lots of like fan fiction I've read like are like astonishingly good. I literally read through like some people like making their own original cast and taking like the concept for a game. Like I've seen and read several like Danganronpa ones, like making their own original cast, original murders. Even seen one of like taking like V3's cast and making their own murders, like different way how they go about it. And the emotions still go run high, and the mysteries are still so fun to engage and all that. There is absolutely nothing wrong with fan fiction. Literally, the only thing would be just if its quality is good or not. That's literally all it boils down to. Literally just quantity, not the fact it's made by a fan. Because then by that metric, then I'm the very second it just means every single studio project that anyone has made is kind of under scrutiny as well. And here's a funny fact that Donna's Inferno. It's a self-insert fan fiction, and lots of the literature, just a metrosphere, hails it as the greatest thing since sliced bread, even though it was made before it. Man, it was still so funny. It's literally just self-insert. There's no problem with going through fan stuff. Honestly, that's my 2 cents. And $1.50. It's good. And the 2-year Ford fan game journey has come to a close. And no matter where else decide to head off in any random direction, games, experimenting like that, it has been a fun journey going through and experiencing these fan games as is. I do truly believe that. So, we're fun time watching as I am playing this. Hope to see you next time, what time that may be. And I hope you fantastic day.